Yo, what's going on, everybody?
What's going on? Today, we're joined by, I guess, retired detective.
No, I'm still a detective,
You
actually.
still are? Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah,
Detective Richard
yeah.
Wistocki, or Wistocki.
Wistocki.
And then Dr. Lisa Caparelli-Ruff.
Yes, there's no way of making that Polish.
But it seems like it's Italian, right?
A little bit.
Yeah. Well, we got a good mix here today, Polish Italians.
There you go.
How are you guys doing?
Yeah, how you guys doing?
Good, very good. Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Yes, thank you very much for having us.
Excited to have you guys on here because we had a couple of questions of our own for you guys, and then we had a couple of questions from our viewers who had a couple of questions for you guys. So
Okay.
This is the first podcast we actually did an announcement beforehand. So.
yeah, exactly. Usually we don't announce it; we just record it and then we post it. So
Okay.
yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
pick of the litter. You know, it's a surprise every time.
Yeah.
But why don't you guys introduce yourselves? Lisa, you can go first.
Sure.
I know you're the regional superintendent
I'm
for
going to
Will
do
County.
it. Yes, I'm Dr. Lisa Caparelli-Ruff, and I am the Will County Regional Office of Education Superintendent.
Okay, there you go. It's a mouthful.
And I am Detective Richard Wistocki, and I have been a police officer for 33 years. I retired from the Naperville Police Department. After I was there for 28 years, I went to Kane County for a year,
Awesome.
set up their high technology crimes unit. They're kicking butt. I mean, they're doing a great job. And currently, I am a deputy sheriff in Putnam County, Tennessee.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're in and out?
I'm in and out. I handle a lot of stuff remotely for them because with internet crime, you really don't have to be in the office.
True.
So anything that they can't handle, they call me, and I take care of business. And I run a company called Be Sure Consulting.
Yep.
And we train about 300,000 students throughout the United States. And I train approximately 7,000 police officers a year on internet crime investigation.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We'll definitely get more into that so we can get an idea of what you do, how it works. I did listen to some of your stuff that you have posted out there, and it's interesting stuff. Definitely interesting in terms of like child safety and everything.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of the reasoning why you guys are here together, right? Because
Right.
Lisa, you are currently running for re-election for superintendent for Will County, correct?
I am. Yes.
All right. And so you kind of wanted to get the word out there and kind of talk about what you do and how you view the schools in the district, and what I guess question for me, right off the bat would be, what would you change going into the future, or what are things that are currently good and things that need improvement, right? Or maybe not good, depending on the situation. I mean, obviously every school is different, every region's different, but
Give some highlights.
yeah, give some highlights of your previous work. So let's start with that. Let's get rolling there. So
Yes. So there's 35 ROEs in the state of Illinois and 3 ISCs. So those are intermediate service centers. Some of the counties are much smaller, like Kendall, Grundy. They were smaller, so they had to put both together, and they made one ROE. Will County is the 3rd largest county in the state, and we are the fastest growing county in the state. We have 169 schools and 34 school districts. We have just over 101,000 students within Will County. Wow. Some of the things that I'm the most proud of is the school safety that we have implemented. First and foremost, we were fortunate enough to be given $70,000 by the Will County Board last year. And the way that we used that money was we used it with Clear Armor, which is a shooter-resistant film for windows. They can't say that it's bulletproof because after you've shot at it 15,
Multiple
20
times,
times,
shatter,
it will eventually shatter. However, what it's meant to do is slow somebody down enough to secure the children and lock down the school properly. Most terrible events, and Rich, I'm sure you can back me up with this, it takes 7 minutes. When media's there and active shooters are live, it sounds like this thing goes on forever, and it takes forever. It doesn't.
it doesn't. Yeah.
It's in and out. And so what that barrier does is it buys the school district and all the administrators and the police
And law
our
enforcement.
SROs time to properly secure a building and keep it locked down so that we protect our staff and our students.
Of course. Yeah. ROE. What does ROE stand for?
Regional Office of Education.
Okay.
We have acronyms everywhere.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yes.
You're gonna-
Yes.
I
You're
was
gonna have to
reading up-
explain some of those.
Yeah, I was reading up on some stuff. I'm like, I don't know any of this. I'm like,
yeah,
I don't have
yeah.
I don't have kids, so I don't look into
But
it.
you know what?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
That's
yet.
right.
There you go.
And then when you said you're going for re-election, when is I guess when is that happening?
The
It's
election.
November 3rd.
November 3rd.
During general.
Okay,
Yeah.
so during general. Okay.
So as we've been beating the same drum for the last X amount of months before
go
before
vote.
the primaries, which were happening earlier this month,
yeah.
Correct.
April, right?
April.
Man, I can't remember anymore. And I was on a ballot.
Everything's a blur.
Everything is a blur.
Go vote.
The primary,
Yeah,
go vote is the
Go
most.
vote,
The
yeah.
primaries
Go
are
vote.
over, so the
Go
picking
vote.
from the team
Definitely go
is
vote.
picking from the team is over. Now you're picking the team,
Yes.
basically at this
Right.
point.
Yes.
So yeah, get out there and vote. I mean, votes are important. I know people say that voting isn't really that important. Like, oh, one person's like, oh, my one vote, what's that gonna do? What if
It
everybody
matters.
says that?
No, it matters.
It does matter.
It really
100%
does.
it matters.
Especially in local elections. It matters in all elections, but in local elections, even
Local
more
specifically,
so. Yes.
yeah, specifically, it's the local elections and the local people that that run either the county, the town, whatever it is. That's where your money's going.
Right. They're
That's-
deciding.
They're the one deciding where the money's spent, how much is spent. Should we raise taxes? Should we? Well, I'm not gonna say lower taxes. They ain't never gonna happen. But
You remember what state you live in, right?
yeah, well, it's called the state of up. Yeah, let's just keep going up, nothing down.
Right.
I mean, I'm actually shocked that Will County this year passed, the resolution to not raise taxes, the levy tax. I know some people weren't happy with it, but
Lots of people weren't happy, but the taxpayers were happy.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure the taxpayers are the ones that pay the bills. So
Absolutely. Yeah,
You
absolutely.
mean the important people were actually
Right.
happy for once?
You know, I gotta,
yeah, the representatives.
I gotta say that when I first was watching Lisa and her campaign when she first got, because I dealt with the administration also before Lisa.
Yes.
And Lisa really really need to talk about the shambles things were in and what level you brought them up. And that's why I became a huge follower of Lisa, because the changes that she made. In the prior regime, I would go there and say, hey, we need to do cyber safety in your schools. We need to protect them. We can't be arresting, can't be suspending kids. And I gave them all these ideas that I had that I created, right? Yeah, good idea. Never did
ever happened.
anything. She gets elected, everything changed. So you need to talk about the food situation, feeding, the basic thing about feeding kids, Lisa. You really need to talk
I
about that.
actually read up on that. Was it Lincoln Way?
Lincoln.
Lincoln.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So in our ROE, each ROE or ISC has what's called a Regional Safe School Program, RSSP. More acronyms, right? Regional Safe School Program. And this Regional Safe School in our area is called Lincoln. And it's not a school for bad kids. It's a school that exists for kids that make bad decisions. And I want to be very clear about that, because you were both kids.
Right.
I'm certain you didn't always make the best decisions.
Definitely not.
Still making those decisions today.
So these kids got put at this school so that they could stay their expulsion, either a year or 2 years. Some are there for truancy. They're not there just for regional safe school. But when I first got elected, I wanted to go on a tour of Lincoln School. And I thought, what better way than to go introduce myself to the principal and to go see what the school is all about. So I make an appointment my first week that I get elected. And he's taking me through classrooms. He's taking me through the gym. And we're walking. And I said, well, I've seen a lot of classrooms. Where's the cafeteria? He said, well, that's the problem. We don't feed the children here. I said, wait a minute. What do you mean you don't feed the kids here? That's a statutory obligation. You must feed the children. He said, yeah, I know. I've been a principal here 13 years. And for the last 13 years, I've asked. And for the last 13 years, I've been told no. I said, I'm Italian. I feed everybody, okay? But I'm especially going to feed the children.
Right.
And so I worked with the state's attorney, Jim Glasgow, who, when he heard the story, became very upset. He gave us one of the refrigeration units and one of the freezer units that we have to this day that holds the yogurts, bagels, juices, milks, cold, so that we go every week. We go
Stuff that can
shopping for the
spoil,
kids.
yeah.
Exactly. And then we found a local restaurant, to order lunches in for the kids every day. Here's the worst part about it, though. 90% of the kids there are homeless.
Wow.
They're homeless. And 95% are black and brown. So the very kids that need the most amount of help were the ones that were
Getting the least.
ignored,
Yeah.
overlooked. It was disgusting, actually. And so some of the superintendents that I told this to, my first meeting, didn't believe me. One was actually slamming her hand on the table, and she said, "This can't be right. How can this be right?" I said, "I promise you it is." Some didn't believe me, and they actually called the school to see if I was lying. And the principal said, "No, she's not lying. We didn't feed the kids here for 13 years."
That's
So here's the
crazy.
question. What'd they do with all the money?
Right.
Right? So
I mean, there had
it's-
to be money allocated for that program, right?
Correct. 100 there has to
some
be.
way or
Correct.
another.
Yeah. So, that's one of the biggest things that immediately, it was an immediate fix. No child started that year and missed a meal. And we worked with the Northern Illinois Food Bank for the children that are homeless so that everybody has their pride, everybody has their dignity. A bag of food every week goes on the front bus chair. And as children are getting up and getting off of the bus, they just grab the bag of food. I've had children crying, making me cry, writing cards. "Thank you so much. For the first time, I know my mom and my sister are going to eat every week."
Wow.
That's
It's-
crazy.
It was just terrible what happened.
It's terrible, but it's also an amazing thing that you did for those kids, right?
Well,
it's
thank you.
something
But it's just what they were supposed to have
100%
from
right?
the very beginning. And it's very, very sad that they were so overlooked.
Yeah, that's
But we built on that program. We didn't just stop there. We didn't just stop with feeding the kids. We worked with Joliet Junior College to get dual credits for some of the kids. So a lot of our kids that go there were kids that they thought, you know what, I got kicked out of my school. They didn't like school. They had school aversion. Some have a lot of nerves and anxiety and they don't want to be in school anyway. So some of them drop out. And to stop them from not getting any certificate or any sort of future, we get them hand washing certification so that if they drop out, they could go work at a restaurant. We get a Microsoft Office suite training so they have a certification so that if they drop out, they can go and do some sort of job somewhere. Because, dropping out, we don't want that. We want the kids in school. We want them to finish what they start.
you're talking to two dropouts right here.
Yeah, we dropped out of college. It's a whole different.
It's very different dropping out of
finished high
college.
school, Paul. We
Yes.
finished that. We got that far.
Thank you. Thank you so
Put a little
much.
bit of, put a little spin on there. We definitely did finish not college, high school. Yeah, we definitely finished high school. those are the good days.
Good.
I mean, when it comes to putting the right person in the job, right? The voter has to think about: am I voting for a politician or am I voting for someone who has done the work? Right? You go into your background and why you are the person for this job and how you cleaned everything up. And am I voting for a politician or am I voting for someone who has done the work and knows where to go?
Yeah, and there's proof of that work.
Or
Absolutely.
or you just voting for someone that's going to do the right thing. right?
Absolutely.
That's kind of what it comes
Yeah.
down to.
Yeah.
I wish it was that easy for every single election.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, it's
Right.
like,
I wish I
Exactly.
wish everybody was actually honest with what
yeah,
they're
honest with
gonna
their
do.
job. Yeah, exactly.
You
Yeah,
know, so
right.
if somebody told me, yeah, I'm gonna go out there, I'm probably not gonna do much. I'd be like, all right, good to know.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm here to cash a check,
Right?
and get the benefits, call it a day. I don't know. If you're going for a job like that, I mean, for any kind of job, and that has any kind of hierarchy, like power in terms of, not saying like power, but like you can make decisions that can reflect on certain things. For example, you being a superintendent, able to Lincoln School, making sure that they have the food that they need to have. You made that happen. Same thing with the glass, right? What is it called?
Shooter resistant laminate glass. Laminate
This is
film.
first time I've heard about this.
Yeah.
what
Clear
happened-
armor,
Yeah,
actually.
clear armor. So what happened in when you saw in Tennessee, where that shooter had shot her way into the school because the glass, everything's locked down in school.
Right.
In a perfect world, no door should be open.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Well, this school was secured except for the glass. So she shoots the glass and she gets her way through. So when that became a big market in law enforcement, again, I train about 7,000 SROs across the country, and this became a really, really problem for us. We have to protect the glass. So Lisa going to conferences, she goes to law enforcement conferences, she goes to teacher conferences, and she pays attention.
Right.
You know, a lot of people. There's this huge conference downtown Chicago, and the Triple I. And what happens? It's the school boards, the superintendents, and they all go in November. And you'll have vendors from all over. And these people who are superintendents and school officials, they just go party downtown Chicago.
That's
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what she does? She walks through all the exhibit halls, talks to every exhibitor, and I've seen her because I was an exhibitor.
Right.
I've seen her do this. So again, do you want somebody who just doesn't walk the walk, or you want somebody who walks the walk
Yeah.
and does the research?
Exactly.
That's the issue.
Yeah, and considering, I actually got a question for you in that regard. Let's say schools. Are you a superintendent for public schools or all schools?
So public
schools, right? So if there's a Catholic school, you guys don't have anything to do with Catholic schools.
No, but it's interesting because we do health, life, safety for our ROE, our area. And health, life, safety is comprised of walking through all the schools every year, making sure that the health, life, safety, so fire extinguishers are where they're supposed to be, that things aren't
Sprinklers are
so
there.
close to the sprinkler that it would block the sprinkler head so that, if, God forbid, there was a fire, it could, put that out. Making sure there's not heaters in the classes, and teachers, and hey, I was guilty of it too. We get cold. It's hard to regulate some of older buildings, but you have to walk through. You have to make sure that everything is unplugged. Things are where they're supposed to be.
Right.
Now we opened it up to helping the private schools too.
That's awesome.
So that was never done
okay.
in the past either. So now with private schools, we're helping them as well.
That's good. That's good. So then the program is in a way expanding, reaching
Expanding.
out to not only public but also private.
Correct.
institutions,
Which is
right?
awesome because even though
You want everybody to be on the same
well,
page.
Well, even though private schools aren't part of all the rest of the schools, you still want them to at least be
safe.
safe,
Yeah. Be
safe.
at a minimum, right?
Correct.
You're obviously not going to tell them to teach the same stuff as a public school, but at least so that it's on your head that, like, yeah, these kids are safe, and I've worked to make sure that they are safe, right? It's kind of awesome.
Are you also in charge of the what's the word I'm looking for here? Are you also in charge of the curriculum?
No,
Setting the curriculum?
excellent question.
Yeah.
Boards are elected, board members are elected, and they work with the superintendent and their staff in each individual school district to choose curriculum and to make all of those types of decisions.
Okay.
Okay.
So your role is more about just
Licensure, we do bus driver certification, GED. I am in charge of Lincoln School, our regional safe school. We do all of the life safety for health, life safety for the schools, and the professional development of every single teacher, paraprofessional, related service staff, principals, superintendents. We do all of that.
Because I'm sure you guys want teachers to continue learning and everything
Absolutely.
like that, right?
Well, they must. They
Yeah.
have certain administrator
okay.
academies and certain amounts of hours that they need to keep up with so that their license remains active.
Yeah, I remember talking to my teachers in high school, and they were just like, "Yeah, if I get another degree, I get a raise, and or
Steps
something
and
like
lanes.
that."
Yes, steps and lanes in the teaching world.
right.
That's,
Yes.
that's about. I thought I was like, that's how far it goes. I'm sure they have to somehow. Like, you have to make sure you like.
Well,
you
there's
have to be,
changes every year.
Well, you have to be certified to teach, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Right. So I'm sure you have to go through some kind of certification,
Yeah.
be it
Sure.
every year, or every few years, or however it works. But
And we do background checking. We do
right.
the fingerprinting.
yeah,
All
yeah,
of that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you guys do that at least.
Yes.
Okay, so that makes sense that you're more in charge of the administrative part of it in terms of not setting the curriculum and stuff like that, but the administrative part, safety and all that kind of all that kind of jazz,
Safety
right?
and annexations and detachments. So we get some cases sometimes where people fight and say, well, I know I live in this district, in this boundary, but I don't want my child to go to school here. Well, so
Kinda
then
gotta,
you
yeah.
could file a case and do an
Okay.
annexation and detachment, and that's what we have our regional board there for. Yes.
Interesting. I don't know you can do that.
Sounds like a busy job.
A little busy.
Yeah.
Her staff, she's hired some of the best staff out there. I mean, Teresa, I mean,
Yes.
she is fantastic.
Truancy, yeah.
Truancy. Yeah. So
What is truancy?
So truancy is when children do not go to school and it's an unexcused absence. And so there's Actually, I'm glad you brought that up. You're laughing,
We're
so there
laughing.
must be some inside joke, right? There's an inside joke. I'm seeing the laughter.
Our family is known for not showing up to class sometimes.
Oh, okay. Well,
This was back in the day, all right?
Right.
Things changed.
And
well,
in
there's
college.
compulsory attendance laws,
Right.
and so for our students, we did a deep dive, and just looking at the records from right before I started to now, we have gotten 3% better in truancy. It's not at all where I want to be, but it's a good start.
With 3% is a lot.
3%
3% more people are
Yeah.
coming to class. Right?
Yeah, but we did something called the Truancy Summit, which I thought was fantastic. We partnered with Judge Garcia, our judge that oversees truancy, a state's attorney, public defender, our principals, and our truancy officers, as well as all stakeholders like deans that really keep an eye on truancy in the schools. And so we had the summit to say, what's working in your school? What's working in your school? How are you getting the kids to school? And so when we had that summit, we had some of the brightest minds come up with some plans to really solve our truancy issues. Because if kids are not in school,
probably
we
gonna
consider
be-
them unsafe. And
yeah.
here's why. Typically, most of the parents work.
Yep.
So if a kid is not in school, who's supervising them?
Right.
And that's what
Their
I'm concerned
friend.
with.
Their friend. Yeah. Right.
Their
Paul?
Or
friend is
social
their way.
Their
media,
friends.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Social media. And that's where it leads to you,
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, so I mean, what happens when it comes to truancy, kids are either running away from something or running to something,
Right.
So I have a program that we can talk about, Juvenile Justice Online, that instead of expelling kids, suspending kids, we give them kids diversion. So one of the things that I did was I have a training video that the kids have to watch. I took a Latina who was a gang member with learning disability. I took the vice president of the Gangster Disciples, and I took a guy who was a superb athlete in school. And all of these, the common denominator was twofold. They all became heroin addicts.
Wow.
And we talked about in the film that we did, what was their crossroads, and it was all truancy. For the gang member, his family was the street, and he would walk to school and he passed by this arcade, and they always were really nice to him when he walked past the arcade, so he joined the gang. This guy spent half of his life, 25 years in prison, and he was 55 when we did the film. The Latina, she said, and until we did the video, she couldn't read. She was 24 years old. She couldn't read. And so she had a learning disability. She was dyslexic and some other things that they never tested her in school. So she didn't want to be there because she felt so stupid, so she ran away from school.
Right.
That makes sense.
And then we had the athlete who was so smart, never did his homework. He would just show up on test day. And then he got involved with the Polish gangs of getting into cars, doing robberies, and selling drugs.
Oh, we had a guest
on the
like that
north side,
recently.
on the north side.
Yeah.
And so,
North side, not us.
and now all three of them are advocates of doing helping other people who are involved in drugs to getting them to treatment.
That's amazing.
They're fantastic people, but their stories all came down to truancy.
Yeah.
So we have to
Wow.
recognize the fact in our Juvenile Justice Online program, we have them write down, what am I running to or what am I running away from? And once they identify that, then we give them the people who they need to talk to. Social worker, doctor, dean, SRO.
Right.
So we solve it in that video. And they have to actually write down what is going on with themselves.
That's
Does that make sense? That's an awesome program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, the most truth comes out of experience.
Absolutely.
Almost every single time.
Absolutely.
Realistically, if they've been through those hard times and they know
Yes.
how hard it can actually be and what it can be.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you've been in prison for 25 years,
Right.
I mean, that's probably
You probably wouldn't recommend that to
Right.
other people.
well, that's
right?
not probably
Exactly.
a great lifestyle. That's for sure.
Right,
you
Right.
know?
Absolutely.
But I mean, to just get to that point, I mean, 25 years, he must have done some crime.
Absolutely. Oh
You
yeah,
know,
yeah. He talks about the shootings he was involved in and initiations and the all that stuff on the west side of Chicago, and he's very blatant about it, and he did his time, and he's a fantastic guy. I mean, for him to talk to these these young kids and showed them where he's been, the scars, the bullet holes in his body, and he was able to walk away from the game. It took him a while to walk away from the games because
definitely takes time.
and the only way to do that is that he stood up and he wasn't a rat, and so he went to prison, and so he did his time, so he's good.
Right.
Sounds like the show Tulsa King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He really amazing guy.
Well, that's great that he turned it around, and now he's
yeah.
actually a plus to society instead of a
Absolutely.
negative. I guess you could
Absolutely.
call it, right?
Absolutely.
You don't want to say anybody's a negative to society, but I mean that's just the way the cards are dealt sometimes, and
Yeah.
you try to help those people. I mean,
Yeah.
just you can do that in every single way. Just this whole week, like this week, I was actually really. I was telling Marcin about this yesterday. I was texting him yesterday, saying that I don't know if you guys heard or not, but there was a Polish streamer that ran for like 9 days, streaming online, collecting money for cancer for kids. And his goal, I think,
it was
it's
small
just
time.
this small time dude, nobody
Yeah.
famous, nothing like that. I think his goal was like 10,000 złota, which is like $2,000 or whatever it is.
Right.
Over 9 days, the entire country came together. They collected
$45 million.
$55 million.
Dollars.
Oh my God.
$55 million over 9 days.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know,
And, I mean,
celebrities,
Yeah.
businesses,
Wow.
regular people.
There was-
it was
Yeah, there
That's
was
amazing.
there was like one rapper that literally came onto the stream. He
And he
wrote
stayed.
he wrote an entire rap, recorded it, and it was playing on the stream for the whole time.
Yeah.
And they ended up raising $55
That's
million.
amazing.
that's so
That's a
so-
great story.
Amazing.
So I mean, things can happen out there that you don't expect it to happen, and then that happens. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
Marcin's a friend, or I don't know if you Jelski, right?
Buddy of mine, yeah.
He just died just recently, a couple of days ago, right?
Sorry.
Yeah.
And somebody started a GoFundMe for his family. He's got 2 kids and a wife, and he was pretty young. He was, what, 32? or
30,
something?
same age as me, 32. Yeah.
And so he died,
Yeah.
and so they started GoFundMe, and I don't know if it's just the inspiration from that podcast, not podcast, but that stream that just happened. But I'm
Right.
pretty sure his the GoFundMe is already around like $90,000
Wow.
over like 2 days.
That's amazing how people can get together like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what
Yeah.
the point being is it's not about the money. It's about
About the community.
It's
the
coming
community,
together.
right?
Right.
If they
Yeah.
can come together, if you
Yeah.
got a cause, or somebody,
Yeah.
something.
I mean, just off of that, yesterday I was at the wake yesterday, and I dressed in my Highlander outfit because he used to play where I used to dance in Polish Highlander,
Sure.
right? And the amount of musicians that came out, because he obviously played, so that was like a whole clique of Polish people.
Wow.
Those people that play violin, bass, or you know,
Yeah.
anything like
Awesome.
that. There was probably over 100 guys playing
Wow.
playing instruments
Amazing.
at the same time. It was like an orchestra
Amazing.
in a small funeral home on 88th Avenue.
Yeah.
Like the whole place was just filled with people, and then just 100+ musicians coming out, and it's like an
Wow.
orchestra playing.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
some people have an impact on other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Other people have
Yeah.
impacts on people. I mean,
Yeah.
you
Amen
had an
to that.
impact on those people that that you helped basically save at this point.
Amen to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And they came along with on the ride with you, and now
Yeah.
they're helping people,
Absolutely.
right? So
I got to say something. We had a situation last year, and I can't talk about the exact situation or what school it happened in, but I called Rich on a Sunday, and I said, we have a threat to a school. I need you to find this kid. He found them before the FBI. It was freakish. I don't know how he does it. I don't think I want to know. But just knowing him and knowing that he can find people, it's
so this is
unbelievable.
Yeah, I have some questions for Rich actually. 'Cause we're gonna talk about you
Okay,
next.
yeah.
I had one question I want to circle
Sure.
back. The summit you did,
Yes.
was that something new?
It was new. We started it. We felt that in coming into and seeing really a baseline of what was being done versus what wasn't being done, it was a complete teardown. Nothing was really being done.
Right.
And so when I hired this fantastic former 911 operator, and I said, you've got to be my director of safety and security. She had relationships with all my SROs. She knows about school safety. She knows about 911 dispatching. She knows about emergency management
Right.
services. And so we talk about every week, what can we do more? What can we do in our schools more? If we can get the kids there and we can keep them safe, that's half the battle these
Right.
days. That
Absolutely.
is half the battle. The next, we depend on the districts to do their work. But truly, coming together of the minds with that summit, that was huge. And we intend on doing that annually, every year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right?
And previously that would never have happened.
Yeah, that 3% is gonna turn into a
I hope
You know,
so.
but what's your
Hopefully
goal? What's your goal, I guess?
Well, my goal is every kid to school every day, except for excused absences. We know kids get sick. We know staff get sick.
Right.
That's normal. That's human.
Yeah.
But what we want is for kids to be in school to the greatest extent possible.
And want to go to school.
And want to go to school.
Right.
There
I
are
mean-
some phenomenal teachers. I mean, we go to readings at schools. Yesterday, I was at Cherry Hill Cherry Hill in New Lenox School District in Spencer. Phenomenal teachers. She knew every kid's name. When other kids from the same grade level were walking by, they're waving. They do a pinky wave. They're watching chicks hatch. I mean, these schools in our Will County, they love the kids. We have great teachers.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's
We're
why I live
really
in Will
blessed.
County.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I like Will County. I love Will County. I love where I live. There's one thing I don't love here, which is the state. But
Yeah.
Paul doesn't
Get
want
out
his.
and vote. You said it before.
Yeah,
Get out
we
and
vote,
vote.
we
That's
vote.
the only way we could
I
change
was on the
it.
ballot this year.
There you
to
go.
I didn't run the campaign because I just didn't have time. I was hoping that I would have more time, but I didn't.
You still got a few hundred. You still got
Oh
a few
yeah, I got
hundred votes.
500 votes. Yeah, I mean, it was an
I voted for the
experience.
post guy.
It was an experience though because I got to learn a couple of things along the way with how the process
Absolutely.
works and if I ever want to do something like that again, how to
How you'd
approach
approach
it.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, 100%.
It is.
Not that I didn't want to do the work because I did the work that needed to do. It's just like I said, I ran out of time. And realistically, the one thing that you need to have a lot of for that kind of stuff is time.
No.
Yeah, and
You gotta walk
planning.
around, knock on doors, talk to
Yeah.
people, go
Yeah.
to events.
Right.
Yada yada. There's a lot of stuff that's
Yeah.
linked to
Right.
it. So
And Lisa, this is your full time job, right? I'm
This
assuming.
is ROE superintendent is my
Okay.
full time
Yeah.
job.
I don't know. I know like elected
Yeah.
public officials sometimes they do it on their, on their
Oh
during their
no,
free
Yeah.
time.
this is
a full-time
what
job.
I love.
Okay.
Lisa, tell them your ladder. I mean, where you came from and how it came up through the school system.
Well, I mean,
probably
I was not born in this country. I was born in Italy. My first language was Italian.
Wow.
I didn't
Welcome
come
to
here
the
till I
foreign
was
club.
30.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You fit
Now I
right
fit in. Now I fit in.
there's a few of us here.
So, I came here, grew up on the southeast side of Chicago, 101st and Avenue N.
Okay.
And I went to Gallistel Elementary and then went to St. Francis de Sales High School. I later went to Loyola University. I graduated.
Makes one of us.
I married my husband right after I got my bachelor's degree. And this June we'll be married 32 years.
Yeah.
Nice, congrats.
Unbelievably.
Congratulations.
Yes, I was a baby when we got married, so I want to put that out there.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But I struggled after I got out of Loyola. I thought, what am I going to do? And I always loved teaching. I used to teach CCD as a child, as a 13-year-old,
Yeah.
to the littles. And I love that feeling of being in front of the classroom. I don't like public speaking with adults, but I love the kids. And I thought, let me investigate how I'm going to do this. So I took a tour at Lewis University, and they told me about their programs, and I went with the special education. I have a cousin with severe and profound disabilities as an autistic young man, and it was life-changing
Absolutely.
to see him grow up with severe disability. Autism back then looks very different than autism now
100%.
in a lot of ways. Now we're more apt to seeing so many children being born with autism for a myriad of reasons.
There's a lot of questions to that, but
A lot
yes.
of questions. But I became a special education teacher at Bolingbrook High School, 9th through 12th grade, ED, BD, and I taught language arts.
Awesome.
And 3 years into teaching, I won a national teaching award.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. And after that, I became the dean of students there, and my career just took off.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And now you're superintendent.
Now I'm superintendent.
Now you're the boss lady.
Because I saw you got your doctorate from
Concordia.
Concordia. Yeah. I did my research.
You
this
did
time.
your research. Very good, Marshawn. Very good.
I did more research than this guy.
I did some research on him too, and I have a pretty good memory.
All right.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear your story, and hopefully it's
you.
impactful on some other people that I know plenty of people that are teachers, even be it whatever school you're in, so. And I like the motivation to progress further and keep going, right?
Yes.
You haven't stopped, right? who knows where you're going to be in a few, well, at the end of this year, maybe you'll get reelected, but in, 4 years
hopefully
after
That's the
that.
plan.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
and
that
that's
is the plan.
That's the
Is this your first term that started in 2023?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Now you're running for a second term.
Now I'm running for a second
Is there a
term.
term limit?
No.
No, you're like a senator. huh?
No, but I would be okay being done with 2 if I make all the changes that I want to implement.
If you reach your goals.
If
But
we
also-
can make the schools as safe as I would like to make them, that is my number 1 priority.
But also hoping that the person that goes after you kind of follows along on the trajectory you're on, right? 'Cause-
That would be the hope.
yeah,
up the
'cause
torch, right?
That can go completely
If you want
sideways.
to leave it better than you found it.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
it.
Yeah,
That's it
that's
right
actually
there.
a good,
Leave
good
it
way
better.
to, that's a
Right.
good way to
And,
say
and,
it.
hope,
Right.
and hope the next person has that same mentality.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, I mean, you'll see what happens. I mean, maybe you'll stick around long term. Maybe you'll be good for the district, for them, not the district, for the county, and who knows?
It's a proven record, right?
Yeah, that's what
Are
it
you
is.
going to vote for somebody that came from another state, has no roots here,
Yeah,
and doesn't have the background that she does? And that's what it is. You're not. Are you voting for a politician, or are you voting for someone who did the job?
Somebody.
And that's what I look at.
Yeah, and it basically they're coming from a whole different culture, right?
Absolutely.
And
I feel like that
Yeah.
has a big impact too. Having a different culture as well has a big impact. Not only talking culture where you live, but where you come from and the way you were raised and everything. I mean,
Family
we-
values.
The
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
we were just talking about right before we
Yeah.
even started. How you
Yeah.
how you came along, how you were born here,
Yeah.
and how your family came along.
Absolutely.
It's wild. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
and that
Since
probably,
you're here, your family went through World War II for sure. If you're from Italy, I mean, it was.
Yep.
My grandfather was a prisoner of war under Mussolini for 9 years in Africa.
Wow.
wow.
Yeah. And my grandmother never knew if he was alive or dead.
That's
And
crazy.
It was
Isn't that
horrible.
crazy though? Because
yeah.
if you think about it in today's age, man, you don't know if somebody's alive for a week and they're like freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think
Somebody
about
doesn't
9 years.
Somebody text you back in 2 days.
Yeah.
You're dead.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
and
You're in
and most
jail?
women would have just went about and gotten another husband or
Yeah.
whatever.
Right.
She waited 9 years.
Wow.
Wow, that's crazy.
It is crazy.
And that presses upon your life, right?
it does.
Like those experiences. It's
Yeah, but
same
it-
thing for you, I'm sure, right?
Yep.
Same thing for us. I mean, my parents, they lived in Poland. Our parents, sorry, they were
you share the wealth.
and they were born in Poland under communistic laws and
Yeah.
rules, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Oh yeah, they had
Yeah.
to stand in line and get food.
Yeah.
No, that was part of it. My grandparents, their parents, my grandparents, specifically my grandpa from my dad's side, he was still a kid when World War II was ending, when they were still shooting the villages from the churches and literally snipers shooting each other from one tower to the other
Yep.
in the villages next to us. I mean, it's wild stuff,
Yeah.
It is.
History is a wild, war is wild. History is even wilder because there's, who writes the books at the end of the day?
Yeah.
The victors write the books, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Why are you laughing?
because we have an inside joke from when our brother came on this podcast. Well, our other brother came on this podcast one time.
Did he
I
write
can't-
the book?
No, I can't tell you who wrote the book. In his mind.
But but I mean, yeah. So I mean, experiences. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that gives you a little bit of a different aspect on culture, on experience, on how you're growing up, how you're raised, right? Like, when I was growing up and I was a kid and I was bad, I got my ass beat. So I mean, that's kind of taught me how to be a better person.
You're not
I guess.
supposed
Yeah.
to tell that to a school official. They're like,
I mean,
they don't want to hear
I
that.
I think the statute of limitations is gone on that one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no history of me that far back. I recently learned, I don't know if this is fact or not, but I talked to a police officer recently. This is probably more a question towards you. That you can discipline your kids. And I asked him, what do you mean, how do you mean discipline your kids? Like, he's like, you can physically discipline your kids. And I'm like, physically as in explain, because I don't understand what that means. Like, you mean like, you can't obviously beat the kids, right?
I was part of the wooden spoon.
I
I
was
got
part
beat
of
by
a
the
cord.
wooden spoon.
We had the
Yeah.
cord.
We had the cord.
We had the cord.
The cord was
The belt wasn't enough, so we moved
yeah,
to
we got
the
the cord,
cord.
the
Yeah.
thin ones. So could only remember to snap on those wires.
That was back when you had the three cables
Oh,
instead
no.
of the TV.
Oh no!
But so I asked him, and he was explaining to me, he's like, you can discipline a child. He's like, you can spank your child in the butt.
Yeah.
You can't beat them.
Correct.
You
Right.
also can't hit them in the head. You can't, do this or
Of
that.
course.
But discipline, as in spanking them on the butt, you as a parent legally are able to do that. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I did not know that.
You can't be cruel and unusual.
Well, that's
Right.
what that's what
Yeah,
it came
and
down
you
to,
can't
right?
use anything. You can't use anything like an object. So cruel and unusual. Yeah, all our parents would have been in jail. So the fact of the matter is that whatever was in my dad's hand, that's what came flying. Whether he was working on some paneling or working on some concrete,
You got a shoe in your freaking hand. That's you get with a shoe. That's it.
Yeah.
Something's coming your way.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't be cruel and unusual. But how do children learn? Children learn by swift and immediate consequence.
Agreed.
You know, so if I mouth off to my mom, wham, I got it. I'll never do that again. You know what I mean? But some parents do the gentle parenting, and from my experience, it doesn't work. You cannot use the same intelligence with a 3 and a 4-year-old trying to explain to them what's going on. No,
What's good or what's bad, right?
swift and immediate consequences. Whether you put them in timeout, put them in a chair, whatever it is, whatever your style of parenting is, but swift and immediate, and you can't use anything in your hands to cause cruel and unusual punishment.
So you can spank him in the butt, but you can't hit him in the head.
Absolutely.
Don't hit him in the ear because you cause
Absolutely.
ear damage or whatever.
Don't
That's
go
why
f- don't
that's
go
the way he
full
told me. And I
force
was
on a
like,
spank.
Yeah.
holy crap,
Yeah.
I could beat my kid.
Well, all right, Paul.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
No, that's not going to happen.
No, of course not.
I only had to come home once from work. It only took me once. And when she says, I'm going to call your father if you boys don't stop. So I came home one day because she was in tears. And the first thing I came in, I said, where are they? And she started laughing, and you didn't hear a peep. I had to go find those little bastards. You know what I'm saying? You know, it was just. But when I found, Daddy, no! And
That sounds like the screams that we've heard before back in the day when we were kids.
I didn't have to lay a hand on them because they were
knew.
in fear.
Yeah.
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 And kids
But-
need to fear.
But that's
They
the
do
thing.
need to fear and respect.
So what, like
Yeah.
you were saying, right? Immediate.
Right.
Yeah, obviously nothing crazy, but obviously like a small spanking or something like
Yes.
that, but whatever, okay. But they right away they understand the consequence of making that, because then later on, like you said, they don't want that anymore, right? They
Right.
know
Right.
what they know they messed up,
Right.
and they're already ready for it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes you can slip
Yeah.
through in case things work out the right way.
Yeah.
But
So I have 2 boys, and one's 30 and one's 25.
I don't think you
And-
spank them nowadays.
well, listen.
He gets in a fist fights now.
If they live in my house, they're mine.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's good.
So when I caught my one kid vaping, I still have a dent in my refrigerator. So I mean, both my boys were great soccer players and they were great athletes. You know what I mean? But they knew that there's a line, and they don't disrespect their mother, and they don't disrespect me. And so now my boys have boys, and they're doing it the same way.
That's
Right?
yeah.
It's the family values
It
that
is.
we learned from our parents. And then when you veer from that to try to do something different, that's when problems happen.
Yeah.
Because you're using a discipline that you learned on YouTube.
Tried and true.
Yeah.
We read a
TikTok,
book. You
And
tried
now, not
TikTok.
not me.
Yeah, and now these kids are running wild.
Yeah.
Like you can't control them because you had
there's-
no discipline and respect when you
At
started.
home.
That's the problem
Correct.
right now. I think with
Yeah.
today's kids is exactly that.
Right.
There is no discipline to teach these kids.
But
like,
I
you
think
know,
social media
Oh, it
is
has a
not
huge impact.
helping,
No,
and
no,
that's
not at
why
all.
I'm so glad
Yeah,
I'm on
yeah,
here
yeah,
with you.
yeah,
and
for
I
sure.
know you know
Yeah,
all of the stats
yeah,
and all
yeah.
of
so
it.
give
And it's,
us so give us a little bit about
Hold
what
on,
you do,
hold on.
Rich. Hold on.
Before we do that, because you're gonna yell at me for forgetting, everybody make sure to like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment,
Share
subscribe.
share the
for
video.
sure.
That's right.
For sure.
Help us grow the channel. for sure.
Let's get some views on this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Rich, I have a few questions from you
Sure.
for you, but why don't you I guess give us the nitty gritty of how you came up and what you do and
Yeah.
what you've been doing.
So I grew up in Summit, was southwest side of this of
Alfaro.
Chicago.
Alfaro, that's
yeah,
right.
Yeah,
I was
Alfaro, yeah. And so I grew up there, and I'm a Catholic school boy. I went to St. Joseph, St. Lawrence, St. Xavier for college. And so when I was in my senior year in college, I became a part-time police officer in Summit.
Okay.
And then when I graduated, I went full-time in Summit. And I was there for about a year because I got tired of arresting all my friends I grew up with. That's a problem.
That's a problem.
Yeah. And arresting family members, which
Yeah.
is
Another
a
problem.
problem too. So I learned my lesson when I was down in my basement watching a movie with my fiance, or it was not my wife, and I heard a pop, pop, pop. I go outside, and the Albanians shot out all the windows of my car. And so, because the Albanians were the ones who were selling all the drugs in Naperville. And so I knew who they were, so I went
Naperville
after them.
or in Summit?
In Summit, I'm sorry. And so I went to Naperville in 1990. I spent 4.5 years in patrol. And then in 95, I became a juvenile detective and also became a SWAT operator. So I was on the perimeter on our SWAT team. We have a 26-person SWAT team. And 2 years into that, they elevated me to sniper, travel all over the country, going to sniper school. And that was my love. So when I was a detective in 1995, I immersed myself in child death. Why parents and people kill babies. And so I became part of a organization called MPEAK, Multidisciplinary Pediatric Approach to Child Abuse. Doctors from Northwestern and Rush and University of Chicago, we all met once every other month with the Chicago detectives, and they would actually show us ER x-rays on what broken bones and shaken baby and all this stuff. So I wrote protocols on what we were going to do. And after that, I handled all the shaken baby cases. And we got convictions on almost all of them. So in 1998, we had a subject come from Brentwood, Tennessee, which is like the Winnetka of Illinois, drive all the way up to Naperville, pick a 13-year-old up at the corner of her block, took her to a hotel, and raped her. Think I didn't kill her, and let her go back home. And he met her on this thing called, see if you know what this is, America Online.
AOL, baby.
AOL, baby.
I am.
I use AOL. I use AOL.
So we didn't know what AOL had. We didn't know what
instant messenger.
Yeah,
so
yeah. We didn't know
that was
what
a big thing.
IPs were. We didn't know what chat rooms, what we didn't know what geolocation metadata. We didn't know any of that stuff.
Right.
I forgot about the chat room.
Yeah,
That was wild, actually, if you think about it nowadays.
yeah.
Because anybody could have been in that chat room.
But you know what they do now? They don't call them chat rooms anymore. You know what they call them? Servers.
Interesting.
So we'll get to that.
Discord.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So that's how Discord fools
She's
parents.
like, this is crazy.
This is absolutely nuts.
This is how Discord fools parents.
Yeah.
So when you ask your kid, because we grew up with chat rooms, right?
Yeah.
Hey, what's this Discord thing you're in? What is that? What is that? Well, it's chat rooms for gamers, Mom. Oh, hell no, you're not going in there. But what does Discord train our kids? What's this Discord thing?
Oh, it's a
I
server.
make my own server.
Yeah.
Well, to parents, what are servers at work? That's where all the computers are.
Yeah,
where
That's
smart
where the
people
data, that's where
go.
the data
Data
is.
store.
So when I
storage.
change the language,
Yeah.
my kid's so smart.
That makes sense.
And so parents don't pay attention.
Yeah.
Right? So so what happened was
a quick one.
I took over her account. I became her. And 2 weeks later, started talking to me again as her. 6 months later, he came up again to have sex with her again. This time he met me and my SWAT team. And that was the start of our internet crimes unit. So we started working with Chicago PD, Bolingbrook, Arlington Heights, Batavia, Geneva. And there was like 10 of us that started this internet crimes task force. Well, in 2000, the Department of Justice, Office of Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention, we call it OJJDP, more acronyms. And so
OJJPD.
yeah. So they started this task force called the ICAC, Internet Crimes Against Children. And so we started to get training from AOL, Comcast, Yahoo, Netscape, AOL. They started coming to our conference to train us on what information they keep and what we can get and how to ask for it.
As the law.
Yeah, as the law.
Okay.
Yeah. Through subpoena,
Yeah.
search warrants, and exigent
Which is
circumstances.
amazing.
Yeah, so they taught us what we needed to have, and there's a law called ECPA, the Electronics Communications Privacy Act, and that was born in 1986. And what that showed us is that local law enforcement has 4 avenues of getting information. Number one, we can preserve any account for 90 days. And now that Melania Trump had supported something called the Take It Down Act, it allows law enforcement to take down any account that has to do with cyberbullying, sexting, extortion through preservation. So we can lock an account, we can delete an account, law enforcement can, or we can have no locks or deletions. Then we can do subpoenas, and that gives us the subscriber information to the information. Or search warrants can get everything. But the biggest thing that we're dealing with now was swatters and threats to schools to shoot up a school. The United States Secret Service in 2021 created they did a threat assessment survey study. And it was done by Dr. Lena Alathari, who was part of the Secret Service, still is. And what she found in her research was that 94% of the school shooters over the last 12 years posted online what they were going to do before they did it.
That makes sense because sometimes they, after a shooting already happens, like, oh, there were messages on Instagram or wherever.
They made a post on
They made a
Snapchat.
post,
Manifesto,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So what the study found was that there were 3 failures. Students who saw the posting
Didn't say anything.
didn't say anything because snitches get stitches, right?
Correct.
School officials, when they got the information from the student, didn't know what to do with it. Number 3, you have SROs and law enforcement that know nothing about cyber investigations.
What's the
So they
SRO?
just- SRO, School Resource Officer.
Okay.
So currently there are 30,000 school resource officers in the United States.
So is that like before you move forward, is that like a guy with a gun?
Police officer in the school.
Okay.
With a
Yeah.
gun.
Who
With
are
a gun.
trained to be there.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and here's another stat for you. Out of those 30,000 school resource officers, only 2/3 of them are actually half of them are certified to be there.
What
Oh,
about
wow.
the other half?
Yeah. So, what's the other half?
Straight
A
up
lot of police
officers.
departments will send their problem children, people who are a risk to themselves or others, people who have complaints, people who can't get along in the public, people who are messing up. So they'll hide them in the school.
What the?
Like,
I
went-
hope that's not happening in Will County.
not anymore because I passed the law.
Good.
So,
Because I know you were part of passing a bunch of laws.
Right.
in
Couple
Illinois.
laws,
right,
yeah, I've
right.
read
So,
them.
so
We have a lawman here.
Yeah. So so what happened was I took my ICAC experience, right? I've arrested over 400 internet predators in my career, and I still do that to today. And so I took my ability and knowledge of ECPA that allows us to get information, and I applied it to that study. So what ECPA says is that if death or great bodily harm is about to happen or happen now, within 2 hours, the social network or whatever internet company must respond to law enforcement within the hour. So when there's a threat, leakage, I train my students, see something, say something, report something. I train my school officials, when a student gives those 5 things to you, 5 pieces of evidence, you hand that over to law enforcement, and within 2 hours, law enforcement can find out who did it.
Mm-hmm.
Then in this training program that I created, it's a 3-phased approach. So within 2 hours, we can find out who did the leakage. Because
Leakage is explain what is leakage.
Leakage is when a student or someone says they're going to shoot up a school,
Oh, okay.
or don't come to school on Monday, something bad's going to happen.
Okay, so you're saying that's information prior to the event.
Leaked information.
Yeah.
Okay.
Leakage
Leaked
is what. So let me explain how leakage happens. So in all these studies, there's a common denominator among school shooters. They were either sexually, emotionally, mentally, or physically abused in the home. That's the common denominator. So when this abuse happens in their home, their brains get rewired and they cannot perform in a school setting. Therefore, they're ostracized, they're made fun of, they're beat up, and they can't make it. Right. So what better way to get back at the masses that you go to school with than to send a threat that they're going to get killed,
Yeah.
right? So when that threat happens,
Which is shocking and sad, but yes.
yes, when the threat happens, there is a mental breakdown happening with them, that they've had it, right? So when they've had it, they make this post. So now what I do is I train students, see something, say something, report 5 pieces of evidence that I need. I train my school officials and law enforcement in the same class, right? So the first day we're talking about AA academies that Lisa put together for me. I have a 3-day class. The first day is attended by school deans, principals, social workers, superintendents, and assistant principals. They all have to come to the class the first day with my law enforcement officers. Here's the first question that I ask them. All right, my SROs, so I'll have about 50 or 60 people in the class, right? My SROs. How many of you are sick and tired of being the last one to know when there's a threat happening in your school? 75% will raise their hand.
Yeah.
I say, keep your hands up. School officials, see those hands up? If you continue not to give your SRO the information, you are going to get kids killed. How are we going to make our kids safe and school shootings don't happen? We can stop school shootings. We can. It's about the mental health of the student.
Yeah.
People think it's about guns. People think it's about this. No, it's about the mental health of the students. And if 94% of the students who commit shootings are posting what they want to do,
They're probably going to do it.
yeah, we have to go after that. Because our first phase that I've created was if we give them the mental health, so once we find who they are in 2 hours, we bring them to the hospital. So our second phase is how are we going to find out how serious they were? Were they just kidding around? Because every school shooter over the past 12 years, they all say, I was just kidding. How are we going to determine if they were just kidding or not? We execute a search warrant on their social media. Who are they talking to? Are they talking about Adam Lanza? Are they talking about Nicholas Cruz? Are
Guys
they
from where?
the Adam Lanza did Sandy Hook? He is the godfather of all school shootings. So when you have a kid who is researching on their Chromebook Adam Lanza, you know they're planning a school shooting.
That's crazy.
And so once we execute a search warrant on their social media, we now find out what their potential is, how much they've been planning, and if that's a positive planning, we go with phase 3, which is a search warrant on their house to take their weapons. Let me give you an example. I was down in Mount Vernon about in January. So through this program, 3 years ago, we stopped 56 school shootings.
That's crazy.
Last year, we stopped 42. As of this week, we have stopped 28 school shootings.
This is
and swatings.
nationwide.
These are people who have taken my class.
Yep. But
Just
nationwide.
yeah. From Fort Worth, I mean, and that's probably, if I'm telling you there's 28, there's probably 50, because a lot of my SROs are now so good at the tools that I gave them on how to do this, they don't even call me anymore.
Yeah.
I want them to call me to give me the information so I can use it in my classes,
Right.
but they don't call me because they're too busy.
Yeah.
Right? So we are
It's a
making
successful program.
Yeah, it's evidence-based, and it's proven that it works. So now I travel all over the country doing this. So back to the child exploitation. So as we were doing these exploitation cases in Naperville, I always remembered in 2010, there was a Chicago Tribune article. Why are there so many predators in Naperville? Because we're the only ones who are looking.
Yeah. You're the ones that were that were
if we're the only thing
shedding
doing
light
about
on
it,
them.
right?
Yeah,
That's why there's so
I mean,
many.
that makes sense. Yeah,
Right.
100%.
So in 2012, because we were doing so many cases, Jim Glasgow came to me and said, "Hey, I'm running for re-election, and I'd like to start a new program. I want to make a Will County internet crimes child exploitation unit. Can you do this for me?" I said, "We're gonna have to talk to my bosses." I'm like, I work a full-time job, right?
Right.
And so my bosses said, if you want to do it on your own time, that's fine with us. So I worked in Will County from 8 to noon, and I worked in Naperville from 1 to 9, like 3 days a week. I stole somebody from the Attorney General's ICAC, Megan, and so she was my partner. And then I had 2 computer forensic examiners from Will County Sheriff, Josh and Dan. And we did this for 4 years. We arrested 100 predators in 4 years, just in Will County alone.
Wow.
So and then when I left there in 2016, I went back to Naperville. I was always at Naperville, but in 2018, I was asked to do this thing called the TED Talk. And
In Naperville, that's the one that we watched, probably.
I did my TEDx, and then when it got released, it went viral. And I was getting calls from schools all over the country to come do my cyber safety program there. And so I was getting so many calls, and I'm like, I'm taking days off. I'm taking my vacation day, taking this, taking that. And my bosses called me one day and say, "Dude, you need to be at work." And I'm like, "I'm here,
Yeah.
And they're like, so then they showed me my pension numbers. So I said, "This is what you're making working. This is what you're making retired." I said, "Why is this number bigger than this number?" Because you ain't got to pay anything. I said, "So I'm costing myself money by being retired as a police officer, but by working as a police officer?" He goes, "Yep." I was like,
But
so
that wasn't the end of your career, obviously.
No,
right?
no.
That
So I
was-
retired, and then the same thing happened to me in Kane County. Kane County Sheriff Ron Haynes says, "I'm running for re-election." He goes, "I'd like you to put together a high technology crimes unit in Kane County like you did in Will County." I said, "Okay." So I retired, and I went to go work for Kane County for a year. I set them up, and Jamie Mosser and Ron Haynes, they're just killing it. I mean, they hired some of my best guys that I gave them, and that they wanted to have more steady work than what I can provide them. And so they have a trafficking unit now. I'm going down to change some laws with Jamie Mosser. I just wrote the new cyberbullying statute, and that's going to get passed.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I did that.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I just seen that. I just seen that.
Yeah.
The video like last
Yeah.
week.
Yeah. So, in my life, I'm a devout Catholic, and I say my rosary every day in my cold plunge. I cold plunge every morning at 40 degrees.
No way.
For 7 minutes, and I say
No.
my rosary.
Can't be
And-
me.
I'll be praying then too.
yeah,
for
I
sure.
would be praying at that point too. Yeah.
So and then God,
I'd pray for warm water.
Yeah, yeah. So the Lord has given me, blessed me with qualities of teaching, and my job is to leave my life better than I found it. And now I'm arresting 400 predators, in my career. Now I'm teaching others to do what I did.
Yeah.
So now I'm arresting even more.
Yeah. So I was
Yeah.
gonna say that number is a lie.
Yeah.
It's exponential,
Yeah,
really.
yeah,
It is
yeah. My
exponential.
typically SROs would blow those things off. But when I saw the horrible quality of SROs that were out there, I needed to do something. Because my SROs in Naperville, we had 7 of them, and they were squared away because I trained them.
Right.
So there's a national organization, the National Association of School Resource Officers. So in 2013, I talked to the director. His name was Mo Kennedy. He's still the director today. And I said, Mo, my SROs are getting cyberbullying cases, sexting cases in their schools. And the only reason why they know what to do is because they give them to me and I'm there for them. Are you guys teaching this to your part of your certification? He goes, no, we're not. I said, this is what they're dealing with every day.
Right.
I said, I would like to start training your SROs in Nashville because they had 6,000 of them certified at the time in 2013. And now it's exponentially more. It's triple that.
Well, yeah,
Quadruple, 5 times that now. And so there's like, Rich, well, I'll give you a shot. I'll never forget this. We're at the Pepper Mill in Reno, Nevada. I'll give you a 2-hour breakout. And he goes, what are you going to name it? I said, cyberbullying and sexting investigations. And so he goes, all right, I'll give you a shot. So they gave me a room with 200 seats in it. When it went, I had 800 people in there.
Wow.
Yeah, there were people laying on the floor in the hallways, and Mo comes in. He goes, I guess this is a problem. I was like, it is the problem.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I said, your SROs deal with cyberbullying and sexting and sextortion every day. And for us not to train them, we need to do something about that. So at that point, I became the national trainer for NASRO.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We're lucky
Yeah.
to have you.
Yeah.
Really.
So
Yeah.
in the
Thank you
summer,
for coming on, too.
in the summer, there's 12 weeks. I'm in 12 different states every week.
That's crazy.
Yeah, every week I'm in a different.
Are you
You're a
going to
busy man.
Nazaro?
Yeah, yeah,
This
yeah,
year?
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
be there.
presenting. Yeah, I'm presenting to. I'm doing a stopping school swatters and making them accountable class for 4 hours, and I'm teaching delivering effective internet safety presentations to SROs.
Very good.
So you're a busy man with a lot of the internet stuff, huh?
Yeah, I am. That's all I do every day, and every day I get calls from whomever to help them.
Yeah.
I actually got a question for you.
Sure.
At what point, I guess, would you consider privacy for kids is one thing. Kids don't have privacy.
No
Kids
such
shouldn't
thing.
have privacy
No
because
such
they're
thing.
until the age of 18, they're under their parents one way or another,
Correct.
right?
And that's what our law says.
They can have a phone, they can have whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but the parent can take it away,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
But with all these laws passing and everything else, where is the line, I guess, drawn between privacy for adults versus, let's say, how do I explain this? How can I ask this question, I guess?
I think somebody actually asked this question.
Let me
on,
let me answer the question on the kid side first.
Okay.
Okay. So no matter where I go throughout the United States, from Oregon to Florida to New York to Texas, all the same. When we have a parent presentation, let me start out with a stat. One internet predator, just one, can have 250 victims in their lifetime.
Wow.
250 kids they affect through their life if they're not caught. And there's 2 reasons for that. The first reason is that parents suffer from a deadly disease called the NMK syndrome that sets their children up for failure, that allows their children to be victimized because parents suffer from this disease. And
What disease?
NMK syndrome.
Adam
Oh.
K.
Not my
NMK.
kid.
And MNK.
Not my kid.
Oh.
So,
Not my kid.
I mean,
We hear it all the time.
so
Listen.
when parents say
I thought I said they're my kids for sure.
when parents say my kid would never do that,
That's what you
That's
mean.
what
Okay.
happened.
like
So-
not my kid. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, my
So-
kid wouldn't do that. Okay.
So when we have a parent presentation, right? The school will send flyers home. They'll send emails every week to the parents. They'll put it on pizza boxes. They'll put it on the marquee to the city. Parents internet safety presentation. Less than 1% of the student body's parents will show up. I've been the son that no parents show up.
Wow.
Because I don't need to go to that because my kid would never take naked pictures of myself.
Yeah.
I don't need to go to that because my kid would never, ever talk to a
drugs,
predator.
yeah, or talk to a
Or my
predator.
kid will know better. If that happens, my kid will know what will happen to them. Well, it's too late. It already happened.
Yeah.
The second reason why predators are so successful is because you have police officers who work really, really hard in their 8, 10, 12-hour shifts. They work really hard as police officers at not taking a report. Yeah. So this is what happens.
That's more paperwork.
This is, and the reason why, because they're not being trained. They're not being trained as patrol officers on cybercrime investigation. Last year, I tried to pass a law where I wanted to give them every police officer in the academy had to have 8 hours of child exploitation cybercrime investigation report writing skills. They wouldn't let me do it. So it couldn't get passed because the Illinois Law Enforcement Standards and Training Board, Illinois is notorious for passing laws that are unfunded. It's called an unfunded mandate. They put all these rules in effect, but if you don't fund it, it's not going to happen. It's just to save face that they're doing something. Well, it doesn't really matter if you don't throw money at it. Right?
Don't even tell me.
Yeah. So the problem is that we have police officers like if God forbid if any of your daughters said I'm being sextorted, and Roblox is the #1 predator site in the world.
I've been hearing that a lot recently.
So when a parent finds out that their kid is being sextorted, which is blackmailed for more pictures or money, they will call the police. And if you have an untrained police officer, here's what's going to happen. Okay, lady, you want me to take a police report? You know, if I take a police report, I'm going to arrest your kid for taking naked pictures. You still want the report? Yeah, I didn't think so. And they walk away.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That happens 50% of the time. And so the predator gets away. So if the parents ain't watching, police ain't taking the report, predators get more victims. So what I do is, my company no longer does in-person parent presentation. We do it virtually. So we do it virtually, and I'll get 30, 40, 50 parents show up, right? Except in Catholic schools, they can make it mandatory. Like I had a school in Palos Heights, the Catholic school in Palos Heights.
Yeah, where our kid goes to public school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I had 100 parents show up. That was amazing, right? And so I do it virtually. So they have to register with the school. When they register with the school, then if they show up, their kids get 2 homework passes because kids go to sports,
okay.
they have activities, and we have to like bribe them.
Yeah. Well,
Right?
They're kids, right?
So I'll record the session, and then I put their monograms on it and stuff, and I give that to them a link for the year, right? So now they can take that video and they can send it
to other people.
So if
That's
people,
actually a good idea.
yeah. So and so if people want to see it, all they go on YouTube, search Detective Wistocki, and you'll see all the school districts that have posted that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good.
Amazing.
Yeah. So to answer your question, when I do get parents, I say, okay, parents, this is going to be very uncomfortable for you because you have to understand.
Speaking to the parent.
Yeah. I tell this to the parent.
He's talking to you right now, Paul.
Strain the eyes.
Yeah. So first of all, you have to understand, and I ask, why are there not any parents here? And they're like, yeah, why aren't there any parents here? Because parents suffer from NMK. I don't need to go to that. So number one, what you have to understand is that your kids own nothing until they're 18. I don't care, and I don't care if Nana, Nonu, Tia, Tiu, Jaja, Babsha bought them that iPhone 17 for their birthday. They don't own it.
Agree.
I don't care if they cut grass all summer, babysat all winter, and they bought that iPhone 17 with their own money. Guess what? They don't own it. They don't
Ain't
own
a
it.
Lambo, they ain't buying it.
No. It is a proven medical fact that the frontal cortex of their decision-making brain can't handle all the scamming that goes on social networks and gaming, right? They can't handle it. But yet you have parents in just trusting their kids. And the next thing I tell parents is that there is no such thing as privacy for your children. You are not only responsible for their food, clothing, shelter, and education, you are responsible for their technology. And the last thing I tell parents, if your child, the device that you give them to use, because that's your device, if they ever change the passcode on the device, that is a consequence.
Yeah.
Because why are they changing the access code? Because they're
hiding
doing something
something.
wrong.
Yeah, they're hiding something.
And they're hiding something, right? No. And I'll tell you what happened down in Clinton, Illinois, a couple of years ago. Clinton, Illinois. The school district invited me to do a parent presentation on a Thursday. So the chief and the sheriff had taken me out to dinner before that. And I leaned over to the chief. I said, hey, chief. I said, if a parent brought in their child and they wanted to report cyberbullying or sextortion, do you have a detective that's trained up to handle that? And they're like, oh, God, no. I said, what do you mean no? He goes, I don't have the money for training. He goes, I only have 1.5 detectives. And I have a full-time
What the
detective.
hell's a half a detective?
Yeah.
It's a part-time detective. And so he goes, I sent him away. I said, what do you mean you sent him away? And he goes, well, I sent him to state police or the FBI. I said, well, that's a shame because the FBI don't handle juveniles.
I actually just found out about that from Justin.
Yeah.
From recently
Yeah,
talking to
right,
him, where he
right,
was
right.
saying
Because
that.
he went to my class.
Yeah, so I think that's what he said.
He had
actually.
nothing
yeah.
but good things
Yeah.
to say about your class,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
Because he said that
Yeah.
the FBI doesn't handle anything for 17 or under,
Right.
Right?
Right. Exactly.
which is crazy. I didn't
And
know
they
that.
leave it to the locals, right? So then what happens is that when parents don't understand what's going on, they're at a loss. And like when I get parents calling me, detective, help me, my kid's being sextorted. They're pounding on my door at 2:30 in the morning. I said, well, did you go to the presentation that I had? They said, no, I didn't think I need to. Well, now you know.
They had NMK.
NMK?
Yeah.
NMK
You guys
syndrome.
keep saying that. I'm just throwing me off every single time.
It's because you're not processing NMK as separate letters.
Yeah.
You're thinking about like NMK. Like,
I'm thinking of something completely different,
Yeah.
which is the
Like-
MK Ultra project. This is what I'm thinking of.
So to answer your question about privacy, kids have none.
Yeah.
So what's the dividing line with adults, right?
That's what I'm
so
interested in.
my job is to empower students not to be victims. Okay, so when I teach in schools all over the country, they hear me saying this 4 or 5 times during the hour and 15 minutes I'm with them. No one has the right to make you feel bad about yourself online. No one. No one has the right to make you do something you know you shouldn't be doing, like sextortion and suicide. Okay, so when it comes to privacy, when you're violating the law, you have given up your privacy. Okay.
Yeah, so you're saying in terms of if you are the predator, right?
Right.
And you are
Correct.
causing these things,
Correct.
then that loss of privacy is yeah, I mean that makes sense. That's the law,
Exactly.
right?
So that's the really only time that we will invade someone's privacy is when they break the law. Now let's talk about street takeovers. Right? Big problem now.
Awesome.
Right? Especially with the Polish kids with fast freaking cars.
it's been a while.
I don't know
It's
what's
been
your
a
point
while.
again.
It's been a while.
Yeah. So
We
what
do it on
happens
Sunday
is-
mornings now,
So
though.
what happens is with these street takeovers, somebody will drop the address of an intersection. Right?
Right.
Now doing it in Naperville now. Right? So what they
Naperville
do
has
is
street takeovers
all these street takeovers, these fast cars will come in with these teenagers and 20-somethings. They'll put oil and gas in the middle of the intersection. They'll block it all off, and they're doing their burnouts, right? And people are getting hit by these cars because there's inexperienced drivers, right?
Right.
So I got a call from Dr. Phil.
Are you friends with Dr. Phil?
Yeah, I'm friends with Dr. Phil. So Dr. Phil's producers called me, and they said, hey, we're doing a show about street takeovers. I said, okay. He goes, is there any way police and parents can find out when it happens before it happens? I said, sure. Yeah. All you got to have 5 pieces of evidence. He goes, what do you mean? I said, all the police have to do is grab one of the kids that are out there. When they grab one of the kids, you threaten them with arrest if they did something wrong, right? And then you say, okay, we won't charge you if you give up your social media. So the kids, in order to be charged, they become now confidential informants. So we sign them up, we take over their social media, and then when that address pops in that social media, we know who posted it.
Nah, you guys are sneaky, huh?
Now, what did I say before? If death or great bodily harm is about to
Yeah,
happen
yeah.
now with a street takeover,
Right.
Yeah.
within
Agreed.
2 hours we can find out who it is. So when it drops,
We can
we
beat
go
them.
get them, right? So let's talk about the 5 pieces of evidence. I need screen captures of everything. The chat, the profile, the pictures, and the videos. Screen capture everything and make it a file somewhere. Then I need a screen capture of the user ID, of the fake phone number or the email address, the gamer tag, or the social network, right? And then here's the biggest mistake parents make. And this is how police officers blow off the report. They're like, oh, we don't handle that. Just report it to abuse at the social network. They'll take care of everything. That is bad information. You should
'Cause they
never
will
tell
get
a
rid of
kid
it.
that. No, so what happens is, okay, so now I report it to abuse, right? To Snapchat, TikTok, or Snapchat. Well, they have a terms of service team that'll look at that abuse report. If it violates their standards, they'll delete the account. So let me ask you a question. Does cyberbullying or sextortion happen only once?
Absolutely not.
5, 10, 15 times, right? Now you got a pissed off parent. I demand the police take a report. Okay, I'll take a report later after the 6th or 7th time. Now they take the report, takes about 7 days for a detective to get it. Now when they send their subpoena or search warrant, they've already deleted it. So what are you going to get back?
Nothing.
You already reported it and they deleted it. So there's nothing there. So the mistake people make
Is reporting.
is reporting it. Now,
To
if you
the
don't
social
care who it
media
is,
companies.
To the social media
yeah.
To the social
If
media
you don't
company.
care who it is, you don't want to hold them accountable. All day, press the abuse button. But if you want to hold someone accountable, do not press that abuse button.
Yeah.
We will take it. Then finally, I need a detailed type statement as to what happened, how it made him feel, and then I need everything printed out and saved on a flash drive. Not one flash drive, 2 flash drives, because sometimes cops lose stuff. So you need to hold one as backup. But when you're making a police report, listen, I've been a cop for 33 years.
I was
know
gonna
how
make
it
a
works.
crack a joke, but
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what? Maybe I said not.
So-
I say the same thing in
So,
IT.
Yeah, so they need to hand over the printouts and that flash drive to the police officer. And when you do that, and a police officer who's not been trained in cyber investigation or cyber crime report taking, they're going to say, when they see the evidence, they're like, oh, crap, they have evidence. If I don't take the evidence, I'm going to be screwed. So you want them to take
So
the
you
report.
have at that point they have to take.
They have to take the report.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So again,
Otherwise, their ass is on the
we
line.
have a situation with Will County law enforcement, right? That I trained almost all of them, but some of them are not trained. Some of them are old school. Justin told you the things he wanted to change, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you
And
did.
that's the current reality that we're in right now. Now, some of the new candidates have newer ideas, and they're much better if they were elected to the Will County Sheriff. So I can't say enough about Jim Glasgow. I mean, he is the champion of prosecution.
Wow.
And his ideas are sometimes so left field, but they work.
Jim Glasgow is what?
Is the Will County
State's
State's Attorney.
Okay, that's right. That's
Yeah.
what I thought. I was
Yeah,
confirming.
he is amazing.
Okay.
Amazing.
So we got good people in Will County.
Absolutely, we do.
I mean,
I'd like to think so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm,
Yeah,
She's one of them.
well, yeah, of course, but I mean, we talked to a lot of people from Will County, right? I mean, we've had Christina on here, Christina MC. We've had who's the Republican chair. We had Christina, the mayor from Homer Glen. I don't know. It doesn't matter where you live, but we had Justin on here. We had a couple of candidates running for the board and stuff like that. So
sure.
smart people.
Yep.
A lot of them are smart people, and
Oh,
they know what they want to do. They just got to get into the position and
Right.
and continue their effort to make things better.
And we have to convince people to vote.
Yeah.
That's the hardest
That's
part,
the
man.
biggest
Hardest part.
thing.
We
Man.
say, I think
Even if you're going to vote on the other side, come out and vote. At least
Right.
you have a voice.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't
Right.
care what side you vote for, who you vote for. Just go and do it.
Yeah.
Because then later on, people are always like, "Oh, this guy's doing this wrong, or this is wrong, this is wrong."
Yeah.
Did you go vote? No. Then what the hell are you complaining about?
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
exactly.
If one person, you have 500 followers or something, right? If that one person brought all their family members into the voting polls, right? We would make a difference.
Oh, 100%.
You didn't have to call us out like that.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, as the more people that watch your
Of course.
podcast, if they're watching this, take your family, call them. Hey, did you vote today? No, go vote today.
I think
Yeah.
they made an impact for the primary though, because I had so many people message me.
Do you know how many
"Dude,
people
we went to
messaged
go
me?"
vote. We went to go vote.
Yeah.
I'm like, the first time voting. Like, yeah. I'm like, that's awesome.
yeah.
You
I
know,
had-
it wasn't like a list of 100 names,
Right.
Yeah. Right.
but 20, 30 people.
Yeah.
Hey, I went to go vote for the first time. I'm like, dude, that's awesome.
And that's
I'm
what
doing-
the
Yeah.
following we have now, right? Imagine,
yeah.
Yeah.
in a few months we'll be at 50,000 followers. And
Right. So,
Yeah.
50,000. I like that.
yeah. So when I
Myron's shooting real high.
when I did all my stuff in Will County under Jim Glasgow, right, I made a lot of headway, and when Lisa got the job, she was skeptical about me, right? So she wanted to make sure, and she had to do her research about me, right? So she talked to a lot of people, right? I mean,
I did.
You went through the whole gamut because you didn't know if you can trust me or not, and so, but I've got a lot of haters too.
Of course.
Right? And this is how law enforcement works. If you do something better than me, you're a jerk off.
Of course.
Because you're making me look bad.
That's
Yeah,
not,
yeah,
That's,
that's-
not, just,
so-
that's not just law
enforcement.
enforcement.
So my philosophy is that if God gave me these talents and my job is to protect children, and I always try to do the right thing, right? You can get on my bus or you can get hit by my bus. I really don't care because
Yeah.
I know where I'm going, right? And I've been there, and I know these certain situations, and Lisa ran into that, But then when she met some of my haters, she started asking questions. And she drilled down, or what do you mean by that? What do you mean by this? What do you mean by that? Well, no, that's not what I know. I've already asked those questions, right? And she did her due diligence. And you have to have somebody that does their research. Yeah. That's the issue.
The
Due
thing
diligence,
is, the thing is, I want the very best working with our students. And, he's actually pretty modest. I mean, you didn't just do Dr. Phil. We had that terrible case, not in Will County, thank God, but a student killed himself. A child killed himself. And the mom and dad had no idea. That was that case we were talking about. I think it ended up on Nancy Grace.
Yeah. Michigan.
Yeah. No,
the athlete, Michigan.
The athlete in Michigan. Yep. But it's terrible. These are terrible cases, and that NMK, you say it so well because the Not My Kid. You want to think that you raise your child a certain way and that they are going to listen to you, but a lot of peer pressure is out there, so we need more classes with Rich. We need all of our SRO trains. We need the diversions. Giving tickets for vaping, that doesn't work. No. We need to change the behavior. Yeah. And so that is, as a former dean of students, if you don't change the behavior and you just pay a ticket, what did you really learn from that?
Doesn't cost you money.
You didn't learn anything.
Yeah.
You need to learn that vaping is bad for you, and you need to not do it.
Yeah.
I wonder why I'm looking at you.
What's funny is me and my girlfriend actually we're starting something on Monday called Hard 75, where you either do or don't do something for 75 days straight. And I was like, all right. She went on this whole list of things she's gonna do. I'm like, why make a long list? I'm like, just do one thing. And I was like, all right, I'll stop.
Yeah.
Right here with that. I'm checking in with you in 3 days. And the truth is, it really takes 28
Monday,
days.
So in 3 days.
Oh, okay.
We got a big event going on this weekend on Saturday, so Martin's going to be vaping all weekend.
That's why I said Monday.
But in truth, it takes 28 days to change a behavior. Yeah. 75 is great. If you could do it for that, fabulous.
I smoked for like 7 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's bad for you too.
Yeah, I kicked that up again too, and then I stopped that one though.
So one of the biggest problems is in schools are vaping.
Yeah.
Okay. Is the biggest. You ask any kid. So about 2 years ago, the state passed, or last year, they passed us 1519, Senate Bill 1519, which is the no tickets in school, because SROs weren't being trained in diversion, something called a station adjustment, which is diversion in the state of Illinois. And when you're not taught how to do that, what do you have left to give punishment? Tickets. So ProPublica, their a newspaper publication process, and the Chicago Tribune launched an investigation, and they decided to FOIA all the school districts and all the police departments that were giving tickets in schools. They found some Will County schools making $50,000 off of one high school, and that went into the police general fund.
Wow.
And so when they found this travesty of justice, right, and there was a law in 2015 called SB 100 that didn't allow tickets in schools. But what did Chief say? We've always done it for the last 15 years. We're just going to keep on doing it and violate the law. But the law was really unclear. So SB 1519 was very clear. No more tickets in schools. There was an attack on my SROs in the state of Illinois. And when I say mine, I've trained almost all of them. And they want to take away all discipline from SROs. So what I did, I marched my happy ass down to Springfield. I said no, because this is an attempt to get SROs out of schools. I said, you take away their discipline process. I said, you're just taking one more step to kick them out of schools. I'm not having it. So I had to explain to the legislature what the Juvenile Court Act was, what station adjustment was, is diversion without arrest, right? And using restorative justice. And they said, okay, we will allow SROs now to do internal discipline without arrest, which is called a station adjustment. So now I'm training. I'm doing it tomorrow, actually. I'm training SROs throughout the state on how to do discipline without arrest.
So what's an example of something like that? Discipline without arrest.
Let's talk about vaping. Okay.
Stop looking at me, guys.
Let's talk about vaping. So, because that's the biggest problem. Vaping and cyberbullying are the biggest problems in school. So I train about 300,000 students. This year as of yesterday. We have had 38 students come to me after the presentation saying that that's happening to me. Mostly sextortion, right? But let's talk about vaping. When you suspend a kid out of school for vaping, what does that do?
He's gonna be vaping at
They'll
home.
vape more, right? When you write them a ticket, what does that do?
You gotta go work for money so you can
Who
pay for
pays
the
it?
ticket
Who pays it?
Parents.
while vaping.
Yeah, yeah. Big Tobacco created vaping to hook our kids on nicotine. It is a nicotine addiction, just like heroin, right? It's an addiction.
Yeah, 100%.
So, in the program that we have, Juvenile Justice Online, we go after the addiction. So, if a kid is found with a vape pen, they have to. What happens is that they have to go see their pediatrician. They have to get on a vaping regimen of the decreasing the nicotine want. So they have to get on a gel, a gum, or a patch to lower the nicotine addiction, to slowly taper them off. Then they have to go see an addictions counselor at least once to get the pathway on how to beat the addiction.
Jesus.
And then they have to watch a video to see what happens to their brains and their bodies. And then they have to write a 5-page paper. And then
Probably the hardest part.
That's easy.
Listen
That's
to
the
this.
easiest part.
Listen to this. If a kid in school is involved in vaping, because how are kids buying drugs now? They're not going to the
Snapchat.
West Side anymore. Snapchat and Instagram, right?
Yeah, I know. I've heard this got really big in COVID.
Yep.
Yes. So we make the parents put monitoring software on their child's phones. We give that to them for free. The parents have to watch a vaping video. The parents have to watch my video on how to watch their kids on
Do they
social
got to write a
media.
paper too?
No. We can't make your parents do that. So, but when we give a parent the ability to remotely see what their kids are doing on their device, it's a game changer.
Yeah, it is 100% a game.
So when we give that to them for free at Powers Juvenile Justice Online, and it's all free. Lisa pays for the license. So every Will County SRO, every dean, principal in Will County can use that system for free because Lisa paid for it.
But let me say something. So, as a parent, if my child, thank goodness they don't vape, but if they were to bring a ticket home to me and you see a $50, $75, $100 ticket, but I think most of them were $125
Yes.
if memory
yes,
serves.
Yes.
It might be okay and easy for me to write a $125 check, but look at everything he just listed. Going to see an addictions counselor, watching a video, doing the time for a 5-page
Writing a paper.
paper.
I'd be
You know,
pissed.
this is
Yeah.
a lot more work, and it's work on his team as well as the school's team, but that's how you change behavior.
Yes.
The tickets are just a very short term, let me just pay it. We've all
Yeah.
gotten pulled over for running
Never.
a stop sign,
Yeah,
speeding,
I've
whatever.
Never sped in my life.
Air vaped, right? But
It's not illegal. I don't go to school anymore.
that's true. But the thing is changing the behavior. And that's what we're trying to do.
Yes.
And when you take the time to do the work, which is what Rich is doing in the school, that's why, I mean, this was available to Will County prior to my getting in office, but nobody wanted to take
wanted
the
to do it.
time to listen.
Yeah.
It wasn't
They
being
just want,
utilized.
oh, one district's making 50,000, fine, let them make the money. But you're not changing kids' behaviors. The whole
right.
point is to change the behaviors.
Just thinking more about it, yeah, that would piss me off actually.
Yeah.
If I had to go drive around with my kids just because they got busted with a vape.
And then you would
Yeah.
have to.
That's what I'm saying.
And
Then,
you would
then
have.
I have to do this. Damn, bro, I already got enough to do as it is, you know?
Right.
And, you know? So, yes.
Sometimes it's easier just paying the money.
100% it's
Yeah.
easier.
Yeah.
But does it make sense?
Right.
But you're not trying.
Does it
but-
does
It's
it make
not
a difference?
lesson. They're not
Yeah, so
learning
you're not-
a
you're
lesson.
It's a lesson for both the kid and the parents.
I was gonna say,
Right.
you're not trying to
Correct.
make it easy. You're trying to make
Yeah.
it effective.
Yeah,
right?
Correct.
100%.
We have,
That's
we have over
75
20,000
days.
people using Juvenile Justice Online. This year alone, we had 2,000 diversions done across the country. And out of those 2,000 diversions, 86% of those kids who went through the program you'll never see again.
It's good.
86%.
That's a good
Hey,
thing.
that's
Yeah,
a great
good thing.
success.
Because we're involving the parent with the punishment.
The
Yeah.
parents have
So when we
Spank
craft this contract, like the parents in the room, not the kid. And so we'll go through everything we said, you know,
Right,
curfew,
right.
monitoring, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Is there anything else I can help? If you as a parent, we were doing a diversion for your kid, anything else I can help you with? And they'll joke, right? Well, can you make him clean his frickin' room? Yeah, I'll add that as a consequence to the contract. So I add, you got to take pictures once a week of your room clean to your parents' specifications, and you got to send it to me. If you don't do that, you're going to get arrested.
You can do that.
Yes. Yes. Take away their social networks, taking away their cell phones,
Yeah,
making
dude,
them
take
do
it-
the dishes,
Yeah.
getting a C in math. We can make that all part of the consequence.
I mean, vaping is so easy to hide too. How many parents don't know that their kids even doing it?
Exactly.
But it doesn't have
You
to
know
be.
when a lot of parents find the vape? When they're doing laundry.
Yeah.
That makes
I
sense.
hear that
You know,
all
we
the
know where I
time.
found the vape? My son brought his dog over. And he went into my other son's room and he's chewing on this plastic thing. I said, "What are you chewing on? Give me that." It was a vape. He hid it underneath his bed because it's sweet. And the dog went after it.
Yeah, you probably-
You can actually harm a dog for that, right?
Had
I
a-
mean,
had a
it's
couple
not
puffs.
good.
They're hard dogs, yeah.
Yeah.
Dog had a couple
Yeah.
puffs. He probably had a great time.
Yeah. Any more questions on Facebook that came up that we need to answer?
Yeah, I will actually.
Yeah.
First, I
Okay.
wanted to say, hey, thank you for your service, and
Thank you
thank you
very
for
much.
everything that you've done, and
Thank you.
both of you.
Yeah,
Thank
exactly.
you for your service. You've been. Is it true what I read that you work with the Secret Service?
Yeah, so the Secret Service has a task force called the CECTF, the Chicago Electronics Crimes Task Force. And so when I was a detective in Naperville, we would meet twice a year. They have great brunch. And so we would go downtown Chicago. We would go downtown Chicago and you would hear these people talking about their investigations, and it opened the door to a lot of people that, so I have a couple of good forensic friends of mine, and the Secret Service has an amazing computer forensic school in Alabama. So all three of my forensic guys went to get their certification in Alabama under the Secret
I should
Service.
go there.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'm a
It's
nerd.
amazing. Are you
I don't know if
really?
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
That's why I know
So-
everything you're talking about.
So
said
what
I'm a
happens
nerd.
is when you get sponsored by the Secret Service, because you have to be in CTF at the time we were doing this, and so when you get sponsored, you go down to Hoover, Alabama for 5 weeks. When you go there, you have a whole just like this. You have your whole workstation, your Fred machines, your tools for phones, your Celebrate, everything. When you leave after 5 weeks, all that stuff is yours. So you get $100,000 worth of forensic equipment and licensing for free.
That's what Justin was
insane.
talking about.
Yep.
Yeah,
Justin mentioned that. I think. if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
So that's awesome. Well, I mean, that just helps the cause, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
but understand, there's only 7,000 detectives like myself who are trained in child exploitation. But when you talk about cyber tips from the National Center of Missing Exploited Children, so NCMEC, National Center of Missing Exploited Children, has an AI program. It's not their program, but they get reported to. So every social network, gaming platform, and cloud service in the United States, except for Apple because they're the devil. And so,
Wow.
believe that? Apple does not have to report to the National Center of Missing Exploited Children because their lobby is so strong.
well, 100%.
Yeah. So
Talking about Apple here.
So they are looking for two things. They're looking for grooming chat between adults and children, and they're looking for CSAM, child sex abuse material, or child pornography. So, but we call it CSAM because that's what it is. It's abuse to children. And so when this AI program in these networks, when the AI program finds it, it flags, somebody from their security team reads it, and they send everything to the National Center. Their IP, their emails, their phone numbers, their geolocation metadata, the pictures that they're sharing. And so they send it to the National Center. The National Center will geolocate the IP, and based on the geolocation, they
Send it
will
to the
assign that case to one of 7,000 people like myself for a cyber tip. Can you imagine? There's just not enough. Like when I went to Kane County, they had like 102 cyber tips that were never worked on.
Yeah, there's not enough people
It's not
working.
enough people working it. Yeah.
Is there enough money to pay for more people? Do you think so?
It's free. All the training's free. It's just a matter of a law enforcement agency committing to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Right.
Well, you need to train more people, I
I'll
guess.
sign up for it and do it
Absolutely.
in my free time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, there's
I got enough free time to work on it.
yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's people who set up stings on purpose just to
Yeah.
get that
Yeah,
kind
I
of
think
information.
we should talk about that. There are YouTubers
Yeah.
who go out and catch predators, right?
Yeah.
And let me give you a stat. So you guys all watch To Catch a Predator on Channel 5?
Yep.
Right.
Used to.
Yeah. 98% of those cases were all dismissed
Why?
because they entrapped them. Now, YouTubers, this is what when I train my patrol officers, right? If you get a YouTuber that you get called to a scene because they caught a predator. Now, why is the YouTuber doing it? What's the drive?
They want the views.
They want the views, likes, and
Money.
Subscriptions.
Right, exactly. They're not doing it for the case,
No.
right?
I mean, some maybe. But
Some of
I
them maybe
hope.
are.
So what happens is when the police officer comes, he goes, "We just caught this predator," and they're going to hand you a book of all the chat, a binder, right?
So the proof, the evidence.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
So what I show my officers, I'm like, the chat they give you is not the same chat in the device that they did that in, because they're doing it for likes and views. They want the guy to show up, and they will lie to the guy. They'll tell the guy that they are of age just to get them to come out.
Got it.
Right?
Got it.
So I tell my patrol officers, I said, if you come on this situation, ask the YouTuber, let me see the device that this chat is in. So they said, well, it's on this iPad. All right, show me this chat that's here. Just give me a sample of it. When they open it up, you snatch it. You snatch that device, and you snatch the bad guy's device. Make everybody go home, go get a search warrant for the stuff, and you're going to see 90% of the time that the chat in the YouTuber's device is not the same chat that they gave you, because they're doing it for likes and wants. They want that guy to show up.
Yeah.
ICAC members,
yeah.
we have to follow rules of evidence. We cannot be entrapping people to make an arrest.
Yeah.
Could these people be really bad and bad intentions? Sure. But we have to follow rules,
Yeah.
right? So I am against 100% any YouTuber trying to catch predators. Now, if they want to work with their local internet crimes and say, hey, I was on Discord and this guy wanted to do this to me, here's what I have, and leave it alone. If the law enforcement agent allows you to be at the arrest because you gave him the case, I can see that.
Yeah.
But and if you want to film us taking the guy down, that's fine. But this is going to be a law enforcement investigation.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a YouTube investigation.
Yeah.
Because that chat is going to be different than what's in there.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah. I mean, and then you think about it. It's like,
I mean, they're probably sharing those screenshots on the YouTube video or whatever it
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
And they're making it seem worse than it is,
Yeah.
or
Well,
or anything
they're
like
making
that.
it as
or they're just showing portions of the
Yeah,
conversation and not the 50 other chats.
what was my
before that.
stat?
Right.
Well, remember my stat? 250?
Yeah.
Right? So how many internet investigations are going on that guy? Now they just ruined them all.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. You're right.
So now
As in
I
there's
train-
250 victims.
Yeah, I train my SROs across the country how to do this, how to do it appropriately.
Right.
No matter what state it ends up in, I show them the ICAC contact. They hand their case over to the ICAC. My SROs across the United States are making more arrests on predators than ever before. And previously, before they took my class, you know what they would do? Just report it to the social network
Yeah.
because they didn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Now they have a ripple effect. And now my SROs, they love doing child exploitation cases.
So I'm sure you're glad that the way it's working out that way.
Yeah.
Because,
Oh, man, I am so proud of my SROs,
Yeah,
man.
that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I can see how invested now, like
Yeah,
animated
we
you
really-
get
yeah.
when
They
you're
are
talking
fantastic.
about it.
I love them.
It's awesome.
I love them. Yeah.
It's awesome. Anyways, but you guys want to get to these questions?
Yeah,
I
let's
don't know
get
how
to
many
it.
we're gonna
Yeah.
run through. 'Cause,
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it.
You know, unless you guys want to be here till 12 o'clock.
Depends how much Shrednoka you have.
All right. we got enough. We got enough.
Look over there. Look over there.
Okay.
He's been looking over there. Here. So we posted, for context for anybody listening or watching, we did post.
Before we proceed, do you guys want to take a break for a second, or you guys are good to go?
No, good to go.
We're good. I'm good.
All right.
Yeah, all
Awesome.
right. So we did make a post a couple days ago announcing our guests and asking what would you ask Detective Rich and Dr. Lisa. So some people did put it, and we're just gonna go through some of the questions and ask you guys. I assume we can probably figure out who it's directed to for you guys. So I guess first thing, if you could make every parent do 3 things today to protect their kids online, what would they be?
Number 1, kids don't know it. There's no such thing as privacy for children. Put monitoring software on their devices. Number 2, this is the biggest mistake parents make. When you allow your child to charge their devices in their rooms at night, you are allowing them to get victimized and radicalized.
I remember listening to this.
So when you allow them to charge their devices in their rooms at night, it's like a predators are knocking at your door. Hey, we're here for Sarah. Oh, come on in. She's down the hallway to the left. Have fun. That's what they're doing.
Right.
There are no devices in the rooms at night because you're sleeping. They shut the door so you can hear them. They don't need to talk. It's typing, reading, and performing. One of the biggest problems that we have with parents is that NMK, of course, right? So when I go to schools, I ask the students, how many of your parents had a technology talk that went like this? If you do anything wrong on that phone, if you cyberbully anybody, you tell anybody where we live, you're gonna go to flip phone. You're not gonna hang out with your friends. Doors are gonna go out the hinge of your bedroom if you ever right.
Yeah.
So I asked the kids that question. They all raised their hand.
Of course.
That's the technology talk. I said, okay, so if you are ever catfished or you said something that you shouldn't have, are you gonna go tell your parents? They're like, oh hell no, right? So I have to show parents how to have a technology talk. So a technology talk goes like this. So I created a program called the Golden Ticket Rule. And what the Golden Ticket Rule says is that now that you know how predators are going to get to your kids, right? You need to go back to your kids now after my presentation and say, look, I had no idea what was going on Roblox, Minecraft, Fortnite, Discord. We had no idea how easy predators can get to you. And one of the easiest reasons why predators get to your kids. Oh, let me take a side road here. 1 second. So when I ask kids, let's say, how old are 5th, 6th, 7th graders?
Between 10 and 13.
Yeah. So I'm teaching 10, 11, 12-year-olds, right? Maybe 13-year-olds. So, all right, who's got a Snapchat? Yeah. Who's got a TikTok? Yeah. Who's got a Discord? Yeah. I was like, wait a minute. How are you guys in there
When it's 18 and up.
when you got to be 13?
Or 13.
You must have lied about your ages, right? And they're like, boo. So I said, all right, how many of you whined to your parents and they gave in to let you have it? I get 10 kids raising their hand. How many of you thought this? Why can't I have a Snapchat? My older brother or sister have a Snapchat. Why can't I have one? It's not fair. Everybody in school's got a TikTok. Why can't I have a TikTok? I'm not going to do anything wrong. I know what a predator looks like. I'm not going to take naked pictures of myself. I'm not stupid. You know what? I'm just going to download it.
I love your expressions. They're awesome.
So they downloaded TikTok. They put their name in. They put their email in. They put their phone number in. Oh, crap, I got to put my date of birth in. Now, let's face it, our kids are not the best mathematicians. No offense, Lisa. and so, probably because of core math, right? So what they do is like, oh, wait. All right, wait. I can't mess this up or else I'm not going to get in. I was born in 2015. Do I go up with my date of birth to be 13 or do I go down with my date of birth to be 13? Oh, I can't mess this up. I'm going to put in 2000. That'll get me in. So I asked them, how many put in 2000 because they didn't want to figure out the math? 75% raised their hand. How many of you put in 1999 just to be really sure? And the next 10% raise their hand. So if they put in 2000 as their date of birth, 75% of these kids, how old are they today?
26.
26.
Who do you think is going to talk to your kid?
Yeah, well, there ain't going to be no 13-year-olds.
Adults.
It's going to be adults.
Who's going to send naked pictures to your children? Adults, because your kid's 26. Who's going to ask your kid to take naked pictures of himself? Because they're 26.
Yep.
So when I tell parents that, they're like, oh my God. I said, I told you this is going to be uncomfortable. So when I show them the golden ticket rule, what the golden ticket rule says, the golden ticket pass.
I like this one. I remember hearing it.
And so what the golden ticket says is that you're going to go back to your kids. You're going to tell them, hey, remember when we threatened you about all that stuff about your phone? We want you to throw that out the window. We are not only responsible for your food, clothing, shelter, and education. We are responsible for your technology. And we don't want you to get hurt. So when you come to us and say you have a golden ticket, Mom, I have a golden ticket pass. As a matter of fact, I got a gift for you guys. We created golden ticket refrigerator magnets. So these go on your fridge. So when your kid takes that golden ticket and presents it to the parent because they're in danger and they need your help, there'll be no consequences if they present the ticket.
Of course.
So now every day that child sees that golden ticket on the fridge. And whenever they're in trouble, they swipe the ticket and they say, Mom, I got to talk to you. That's how we build bridges and talking to kids about technology.
It's more than just for technology, too. You can apply it for
Everything.
You can.
Dating, relationships, going out, going to places.
Going to school.
Right. Exactly. So,
No truancy.
so to answer that question, those are the three things.
Yeah.
That you have to monitor. No more devices in the rooms at night. Not even an Apple Watch. Because
Nothing.
parents try to fool themselves.
You
Right?
can't text off of an Apple Watch or something.
But what's the kid going to say? But I needed to wake up in the morning. Go to Walmart and buy a $10 clock. Works the same damn way. But
I'll
I need
wake
to
you up
set
in the
3
morning.
alarms.
You get
Go on
yourself a
Amazon by
rooster.
4, right?
Yeah, or I'll wake you up in the morning.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is no device in the rooms and having a technology talk with them.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And they can get the golden ticket on my website at bsureconsulting.com or on my TikTok shop.
Oh, yeah, TikTok shop.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
I don't know how half the stuff works.
I'm also gonna because I know you're referencing a lot of from your TED talk about
Yeah.
this. I am gonna link the TED talk in the
Great.
description of this video.
Awesome.
And on this is gonna be on Spotify too, so it'll be
Fantastic.
on Spotify too.
Fantastic.
For anybody that's interested.
Great.
You go on for I think like 13, 14 minutes about it.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of similar things that you're talking about right now, but it's
Right.
all condensed and all
Yes,
one right after
yes,
another. So
yes.
if anybody's interested, take a look. Next, that one was from Natalia. This one's from Angelica. At what age should kids realistically have cell phones or social media? And I know she works at a school.
Okay. So there is a movement moving across the street across the United States called Wait Till 8th.
Eighth grade.
So 8th grade, because you got to be 13. See, there's all this to do in the
I got mine.
media and all over the United States about this provider should do something. Snapchat should do something better. Meta should do something better. Has nothing to do with them. You know how to solve the child exploitation? If we make Apple and if we make Google, when a parent signs their kid up for the cloud, all they have to do, put a date of birth in there.
Right.
You put the right date of birth, the kids can't access the content. They can't download the apps
That makes
until
sense.
they're 13, right?
Makes sense.
You would eradicate the problems that people say that's a problem. But why don't they do that?
Well, of course, you
Because
know
Apple
why.
has the lobby.
They want to download.
And we had, I was involved in 5 states trying to pass this. Not one of them
was able to
passed
get that.
because everybody's on the take.
Of course.
Yeah.
Politicians.
Politicians.
Well, not just that, but Snapchat pays.
Well, dude, of course.
Yeah.
Whoever makes money per download.
Yeah.
Right. So why would you want to? Why would they allow you to just dip into their funds like that?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you're taking away their profit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I will tell you, on the other side, Snapchat is one of the best law enforcement partners out there.
I believe it.
We call them when we have an emergency. Within 15 minutes, they give us the data.
That's awesome.
They're amazing.
Well, you know what? I feel like they're probably aware, right? They know
Yeah.
like kids lie, right?
Oh,
People
yeah.
lie,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and there's bad people out there.
yeah.
That they're just like, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do whatever you need to
Yeah,
do.
Snapchat
right?
safety team it's run by a guy by the name of Stephen Dufrance, and I actually present with him in conferences across the country.
I was about to say you probably know.
And he, I was just talking to him yesterday, and he is amazing, and he listens. He listens to everything that we ask him to do, and he's
That's
amazing.
awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
So 8th and up.
8th grade.
Eighth
I mean,
grade
I didn't get a cell phone, so I could afford it,
Yeah.
so I could pay for it myself. So
Yeah.
15.
I'm really a hypocrite in that, though. I mean, my kids got it when they were 11, but my kids played high level soccer, right? But I gave them an Android, and it was all monitored, right? So
was gonna say,
there's nothing they could do.
I was
going to
say there's no way it was a private cell phone.
So we go to, no. So when we go to all these, these tournaments, there's, 25 soccer things out there. And so I had to track them. I had to know where they're at,
lost.
and that's the only reason why they had it at 11, but they were not into Snapchat and all that. I would not let them have social network.
Yeah.
So it's going to be for Lisa.
Yeah, this is from Anya. How can we limit schools' social media presence and explain to schools that posting children's photos publicly is a risk?
So every year, parents are given a release and they can sign if children's photos can be taken by the school, by visitors, or even, in the yearbook. So it is up to parents every year at the beginning of the year. It is totally their choice.
Is this like a form that they get sent to a house, or how does
So
that work?
every year when a child is registered for school, each school is slightly different, but it typically goes this way. They go in, they receive a handbook, they are asked a series of questions, emergency contact forms, etc. And then they have to fill out a form if it's okay for their children's picture to be taken.
And how is that taking the photo? Is how could it be a risk?
Well,
I can explain that.
Yeah.
please, because
Yeah.
this one is a little uncomfortable. Go ahead.
So I have contracts with numerous schools in Will County and across the country, and I handle all their cyber stuff. D92, Lockport, Providence. I am their consultant when stuff like this happens. I'm not going to say which school this happened in, but the school got contacted by a prosecutor in Georgia, and they said that we had arrested a child pornographer. And the reason why we're calling your school, because we found pictures of 4-year girls that he AI'd naked this is a big thing now. We are having people AIing those pictures of our kids winning medals on track meets and stuff like that. So you have predators out there AIing them naked and then taking that picture and sextorting those kids. I have a picture of you naked. If you don't give me more pictures, I'm sending this out. Luckily, the ICAC in Georgia had caught this guy. And so since I have this relationship with the school, they call me right away, say, Rich, they just called us. Can you handle this? So I called the ICAC. I'm ICAC. So we handled it. We identified the girls. And now anybody who has these girls' pictures will be a sex offender for the rest of their lives.
Wow.
Yeah. So AI is AI and deep fakes. Every time I talk to junior high and high school students, I said, guys, stay away from AI generated images because they're generating images on kids they go to school with.
Yeah.
And these AI companies are reporting it right to the national center. Remember how I told you about the AI program?
Yeah.
They will get the cyber tip and the state police or someone will go to your house with a search warrant and take all your devices and you will get arrested.
That's,
First of all, it's great that happens.
Yeah.
It's crappy that people do that.
Yes.
Right? It's messed up that people do
Yes.
that. That's for sure.
Yes.
But I'm glad that at least, these companies.
But what needs to happen is these kids or people need to realize that if they actually do that, there is a consequence.
Yes.
Yeah.
And thank God for Lisa because, the schools, like, I'll give you an example where we were at Piatone. Yeah. Piatone requested a presentation. They went through Lisa. Lisa said, you got to go there and do that. I went there and did it.
Yeah.
And no other ROE does that ever in Will County. And I have other ROEs that I do that too. But she takes the bull by the horns and she knows exactly what to do.
Glad to have you here.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad I met him.
You know what? It seems like a good partnership. So I mean,
Absolutely.
let's
Absolutely.
keep it going and get things done and protect the kids and just have safety as probably a number one priority of all.
Right.
I mean, nobody wants to worry about their kids when they're going to school.
Absolutely.
Like I send my kids to school.
Yeah.
The first thing I don't want to be thinking about is
Yeah.
are they going to be safe or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's our job to keep them safe.
It is our
Right.
job.
Do I have to go there and stand by the door by myself? I mean, like,
Right.
obviously I got a job and everything else, but
You
we've
would,
had this-
you,
we've
would,
had-
you would if you had to.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I'd take, I'm never not going to say it. I'd take-
Yeah. Yeah.
We had that conversation with Justin.
yeah.
Let's see what's next. How to protect your kids from cyberbullying. What to do if your kids do get bullied online. I think you kind of
Yeah,
you
those
kind
5 pieces of
mentioned it.
evidence. Yeah, if you go to YouTube and you look at the Dr. Phil video with Detective Wistocki, you'll see the video come up as well.
Yeah, perfect, awesome. What are some things parents can do to prevent cyberbullying?
Let me hit that 1 second. So I have a new bill, Senate Bill 2741. So when I go to the schools, and this is going to be shocking to you. When I go to schools and I teach the kids, they don't think that it's going to happen to them. And it's not going to happen in my little town, right? So I prove to them it does. So I put up my slide. I said, how many of you have received this text message? And I hit it. No one likes you. You're so ugly. You should just go frickin' kill yourself. If I'm in an auditorium of 500 to 1,000 students, I will get 50 to 80 kids raising their hands. I was like, okay, keep your hands up. Those who received the text message, how many of you know that the person who sent you that message is in this room right now? And 2/3 will keep their hands up. Our kids are doing it to each other.
Yeah.
So, and you know what? In the state of Illinois at this point, that's not illegal. What our statute says right now about cyberbullying in our state, making any comment, request, suggestion, or proposal that is obscene with the intent to offend. So if there's no sexual connotation to the harassment, it's not a crime in Illinois. So I worked together with Kane County State Attorney Jamie Mosser, and I took an existing law called harassment by telephone, and I updated it. I added 3 words: harassment by telephone and/or electronic communication. With that, under the telephone harassment, causing emotional distress, continuing harassing with no purpose. So now we're going to have a cyberbullying statute that's going to work.
It's amazing.
And then, because if it's not a crime, we can't even investigate it,
Yeah.
right? We can't get subpoenas and search warrants if it's not a crime. So now, if SB 2741, now Senator Linda Holmes, she has some great power. She got it through the Senate. I went down there with Jamie and testified about 2 months ago, unopposed in the criminal committee. So it got passed through the Senate. Now, next Tuesday, Jamie Mosser and I are going to go on the Republican side, and Nicole Laha is,
She's from here, right?
Yeah, she's from here. She's supporting it, and I congratulate her for supporting it. Because, guys, when it comes to children, I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're a Republican. It's about our kids.
That's it.
You know,
That's it right there.
And you know, the not only is the cyberbullying statute that I created is going to protect children, it's going to protect our politicians. How much hate do you get, Lisa?
Oh, just a little bit.
How much hate?
that's
Troike, has Christina Troike told you how much hate she gets?
Yeah, she has.
Yeah, she has contacted me.
They all receive hate.
Yeah,
sometimes
I
it
said,
doesn't make
Lisa,
sense, but it's hate.
I tell Christina, I said, Christina, I'm going to change this. I'm going to change this law. And she goes, well, I hope you do, because I'm sick of it. It's ruining my position. It's ruining my relationships.
Yeah.
And so I said, I promise you.
That's why I'm glad you're my friend.
Yeah.
Because I'm calling you first the next time it happens.
Absolutely.
I have definitely a topic on some of that sort of that stuff,
Yeah.
which is also
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
self-inflicted.
I understand.
You know, there are certain
Yeah.
things that people do or say or whatever.
Yeah.
Then it's unnecessary, is what it is. Realistically,
Absolutely.
is what it is. We should
Yeah.
be working together as a team.
Absolutely.
Not trying to undercut
Absolutely.
each other or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know the terminology to use,
Yeah.
but I mean, yeah, we got to work together.
Yeah, yeah. So it's SB 2741. If you can go to ilga.gov, and what happens, you go to the website, fill out a witness slip that you support it. That goes far.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
Martha's gonna have to go to this website.
Yeah.
To this
I'm gonna
podcast,
put a
and he's
link.
gonna have to put a bunch of information.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what I do.
What
do you
Martha
do, Paul?
says that he has a lot of free time. Not today.
I was lying.
That's
I
funny.
was lying. Okay, next question. Next two are from our sisters or my sisters. But one of them, what are some things parents can do to prevent? Oh, we already answered that one.
yeah.
That was Kingo's. And then this one's to you, Rich. What were some of the most common platforms predators use to target children? And I can already guess.
Yeah. So, well, right now it is Roblox. Roblox. Thank God that they took away the chat feature in between users.
Completely?
They took it away. Yeah. But then because when you meet somebody on Roblox, now they're taking them to Discord. So the biggest red flag for my kids is that if you're gaming with someone and all of a sudden after 2 months they say, hey, let's go over to WhatsApp. Hey, let's go over to Snap. Hey, let's go over here. Anybody who takes you off of your gaming platform and go to private chat, they are not who they say they are.
Yeah.
I've been talking to you for 2 months. Why do I got to go somewhere else? You know why? Because they're grooming them, and they know that the National Center of Missing Exploited Children has that AI program watching the chat. If they take them to private chat, they got them.
Interesting. So Roblox is one.
Number one.
I have Discord, I'm assuming, is number one.
Discord, radicalization,
Yeah.
And parents really need to watch their kids when it comes to Telegram or Signal.
Yeah.
Telegram and Signal are used for criminal purposes.
Yeah.
And people know that the owner of Telegram can't stand law enforcement. I mean, he went to France and
Paul
when he got off his plane, they scooped him up and they put him in a black site for 4 days.
Yeah, Pablo
Durov, yeah.
Durov, yeah.
And so when he got out, all of a sudden he made a big statement. We will now cooperate with law enforcement, which is total BS.
We will or we won't?
He will because he was in a black site, right? But even till today, we have so many swattings going on and they're starting on Telegram. He will not respond to law enforcement.
That's the kind of question I was getting at earlier. Was me asking, where is the line for the privacy between
If you commit a crime, there's no privacy.
You're right.
And these companies who make the money off of advertisers and they advertise that they will not cooperate with law enforcement. That's why criminals use their platform.
Yeah.
They should be held accountable.
100%.
He should be arrested.
I got a off-topic question for you. I don't know how you're going to answer this. It depends how much you know about it.
Yeah.
Is Bitcoin only used by criminals?
No, of course not.
All right. That's all Paul needed to know. That's all I needed to know.
But it's easy to trace.
Yeah.
What
What are your thoughts on Discord passing that new policy they have?
About what?
You have to upload your ID for age verification.
Yeah, so I don't believe in age verification because predators will have 13 and youngers don't have IDs unless it's school ID, and they manufacture that stuff.
Yeah.
So they can manufacture or AI a 13-year-old when it's really them, and they'll say, "This is my kid," and it's a false sense of
Right, and they'll just join those.
security.
They'll just join those calls
Exactly.
that are 13.
Exactly, it's a
whatever.
false sense of that.
Yeah.
I gotta back up real quick. You said it's easily traceable.
Oh yeah, totally traceable.
I mean, it is traceable. You follow a wallet and you find out where it went,
Absolutely.
right? But then finding out who the owner of the wallet is not so easy.
Oh, it's easy. I don't care.
man,
I don't
don't
care if you
tell
use VPN. I don't care if you use VPN.
Man.
I get around it.
Oh damn.
VPNs, fake phone numbers. There is no challenge for me. Yeah.
Well, I guess the guy to know when I'm looking for something. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Wait, you got the golden ticket?
So I got something to talk to you about. Let's keep it going. Here's one just for Lisa. Where do schools and parents commonly disconnect? Or I guess probably most commonly disconnect. What do you think?
Well, I think that when parents set boundaries of, you're going to follow my rules, you live under my roof, I pay for, your clothing, your food, all of that. It's when they set boundaries of, I expect you to be home at 10 o'clock. I expect you to do your homework. I expect you to bring home decent grades. I expect you to do the chores. I think whenever parents set boundaries and expectations, that's when there can become discord.
I 100% agree. It's something like I've heard before in my life.
You've heard
But
it.
I've dealt with it.
You've heard it.
I've heard it and I dealt with it. Yeah, that's
Yep,
for sure.
yep, yep,
And
yep.
if you don't go to college, you better get your own place. I'm like, oh shit, I guess I gotta go to college.
I would also probably ask, I guess, parents going to what are they called? School, not conferences, but
PTAs?
I guess, but the
Parent
school
teacher
board.
conference?
No.
Oh,
It's like the
school board meetings?
Yeah, school board meetings. Probably another important thing for parents to do, so they know what's going on in the school.
Well,
right?
we know how important school boards are because we already talked about this.
They're crucial.
It's probably one of
Yes.
the most the one group of people that really make an impact on how your kids, what they learn, and how they're taught, and anything related realistically to kids. It's the board members of that school
Right.
who make decisions that are, I mean, I guess one way or another, right? But they're the decision makers at the end of the day. They're the ones who set the curriculum and everything else, right?
Yes, they follow the direction of the administrators there, and they hire the superintendent, and they come together as a team and hopefully make the best decisions for the kids.
It's very important. School boards are very important.
All right, I'm gonna pick a couple more because we're coming up on time here. I don't know if my computer can handle this. Too much information. I guess here's a yes/no question, right? If your child, if your own child was growing up today, would you do anything differently?
Yes or no question?
I mean, if you're talking to me, I have two sons.
I changed the question.
Okay. I'm blessed. I have two sons, a 28-year-old and a 24-year-old. And would I do anything different? Nothing. They're fabulous young men. I'm so lucky. My youngest is in school to become a veterinarian at U of I.
Awesome.
My oldest just got married. He's got his bachelor's and his master's degree in unmanned aircraft, so he's a drone pilot.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
And just bought a house in Lamont, and married an eye doctor, married the love of his life.
They're gonna have some really good drones.
I'm truly blessed.
They're gonna
Yes.
have really good. Those drones are gonna have really good vision. Rick's gonna be using them.
Yeah.
Dude, I gotta look at your history.
Are you on Telegram? No, I'm just kidding.
I am on Telegram, by the way. Just FYI.
I am not.
I'm on a lot of social media platforms, but Telegram is one of them. I've used obviously I've used WhatsApp, all that stuff. I do a lot of business internationally, so I
Sure.
talk to a lot of international
Sure.
customers. So that's the way they communicate.
Sure.
So
Sure.
and that's
Yeah.
I understand that. you
Yeah.
know. I get what you're saying about the Pavel Durov, not working with the feds and everything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
His thing is invasion of privacy, but like you said,
you commit crimes and you hurt children. There's no such thing.
oh
as
yeah,
privacy.
100%.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
They're selling children.
Yeah.
They're selling school shootings.
I'm
on Telegram.
not shocked.
You
But
know?
I mean, dark,
And-
even on dark web and everything else.
You
I
know,
mean, what's
I
associated
had
with
a
that?
case I was helping out with my Fort Worth, Texas guys, and they had a list of schools they were going to shoot up. These guys with mass and AR-15s and 45s, and it's a video, and it started on Telegram, and we sent Telegram a emergency request, nothing. And here are these guys
Insane.
in mass with guns going to shoot up a school, and you're not going to tell us?
Yeah.
He needs to be held accountable for that.
Insane.
Definitely.
I mean, he is the founder,
And,
so he does set the rules.
he goes on Tucker Carlson, and Tucker Carlson's, well, you're not the one doing it. You're not the one pulling the trigger. No, he is. You are allowing this to happen in your house. If you don't clean your house and get the criminals out of your house, you are hosting that house.
And we should get Durov over here, and then
Oh,
you guys
oh.
can talk to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would
We'd
welcome that.
We'd have to cut the camera.
Because
at
I
one point.
have example after example after example.
Okay. Next question. How do you balance protecting your kids without making them feel constantly monitored or losing their trust or like feel like you're helicopter parents?
It's part of life. You want, I am responsible until you're 18.
Yeah.
Okay. And I am responsible for every decision that you make.
Agreed.
And if you want a device that I pay for, I don't care if it's a device that you pay for. If I am responsible for you, I am going to put monitoring software. And there's basically 2 monitoring softwares that are out there. Okay, if you have an Android, it's bark.us, and Bark has their own Bark phone so if there's a parent out there thinking about getting their kid a phone, make it a Bark phone, because you will have total remote control. Now, 75% of the market are iPhones. Apple does not allow monitoring, third-party monitoring that works, right? But there is a company called Bright Canary. Bright Canary my team has tested it. And so what they do is they restrict the Safari browser, and then you put in the Google browser, and then you rip out the keyboard. You restrict all keyboards except for a Bright Canary keyboard. The Bright Canary keyboard, you're going to like this, is a keylogger. So anywhere your kid goes, anything they say, if it violates the rules, the parent gets notification.
Yeah. So if they type
I'm
in
gonna
a
sell
certain,
some drugs tonight.
they type in a certain series of letters,
Yeah,
you're gonna get notified.
And if
about it.
you go to my website at Be Sure Consulting. You go to schools monitoring. I list all the data there,
awesome.
and they can get everything.
That's great.
That's another good question too. For super young kids, mine are almost 3 and 6. What habits should parents build now to keep them safe online before they have more independence?
Don't give them a phone.
Don't give them a freaking
give
It's
them
microphone.
going to take a
tablet.
half hour, but I won't take your time. My biggest pet peeve is when I go to a restaurant and I see kids with headphones on and iPads in front of them. That is your only time, parents, to socialize your children.
Yeah.
Agreed.
You are addicting them. Would you smoke weed with your kid? No. Would you drink with your 3 and 6-year-old?
No, if we're talking about 3
Not
and 6,
3
no,
and
it's
6, no.
definitely not.
So when you give them a screen, you don't think that's addictive behavior?
100%.
To modify their behavior? No. That's the only time when you teach your child how to order, how to order their drink, how to order their food, how to shake hands,
How to socialize.
how to socialize.
How to have a conversation.
Yeah, how to have a conversation with other people
How to
besides
eat.
your family.
Yeah.
I mean, when we were kids, what did we do? We colored with them, played tic-tac-toe, right? We shot the napkin, right? Or whatever we did, right? But we talked to them. If your kids are that bad and you got to put a device and to shut them up when you go to dinner, why even take them?
But you know what?
Go get a
Part of that,
babysitter.
but part of that problem, and I can tell us from experience, which I have to improve on, but the parent is also at fault, because what do the parents do?
100%.
They're usually on their phone too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Parents, this is
true.
what I tell parents. Your children watch you. And if you're at the dinner table with a device, they're going to be at the table with the device.
Yeah, yeah.
I said, during dinner time, that's your only time to talk about your day. Put it away. And here's what I leave parents with. Your kids will watch you so much, they'll even watch how you treat your parents.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If
For
you
sure.
have nothing to do with your parents, your children have nothing to do with you when you get old. So invest the time now. That's what you have to do.
Those are
That's
smart words.
awesome.
That's for
That's
sure.
awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, get rid of the phones.
Absolutely.
Here's actually one for you, Lisa. What should parents be teaching young kids before they even enter elementary school to protect them from what they might be exposed to at school? I guess for both of you, but
Well,
I mean,
I-
you're talking about 5-year-olds, right? So
yeah, I think that parents should be teaching their children that no is a complete sentence.
Yeah.
They should stand up for themselves. They should be advocating for themselves. Try not to let a child bully you. Speak up if something's wrong. say something. If you see something, say something. I mean, this all really pairs up with school safety. Also, if somebody tries to harm you, you know, it's okay. Say no. Stand up for yourself.
My last slide in my student presentation is this, and I have a guy going like this. If anyone ever, anywhere tells you, don't tell your parents about this, they're eventually going to harm you.
Yep.
I don't care if it's your sports team, school, church,
Coach,
anywhere,
anything.
anybody, anywhere says, don't tell your parents about this and delete that message, they're going to harm you. You need to tell a responsible adult immediately when they tell you that.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yep.
You're right. That's
Yeah.
you're 100% right on that.
Yeah.
Because that never leads to a good thing.
Yeah. And that's the common denominator amongst all my victims of predators. They all tell them that.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't tell it. Delete the messages. Don't anybody see this.
We're reading a really long
You
message.
know what? I see the IEP question. Let me go ahead and answer
Yeah,
this,
so-
okay? So the question is, there needs to be more done through the ROE for defensible IEPs across the county. The state's 6-year cyclical monitoring cycle isn't enough. Okay, so IEPs are something that it's for children that have an individualized education plan. There are 13 areas in which a child can be found qualified to get special education services: autism, blindness, traumatic brain injury, specific learning disability, deafness, deaf blindness. There's multiple areas that a child could be found eligible to have an IEP. Once a child has an IEP, that is changed yearly. You must always have an annual review to monitor and see, did that IEP, is it meeting that child's needs? What accommodations are being made for the child? Do they need alternate test locations, additional time, etc.? So legally defensible, what parents need to understand is you as a parent are part of that IEP team. So when you have an IEP, it's federal law. It's not state law. It's federal law. So you have every right. ISB, our Illinois State Board of Education, lists all of these rights. They even have sample letters if a parent wants to get a child tested. They have sample letters if you're not happy with something that has gone on in an IEP. Every 3 years, your child is eligible for a 3-year reeval. So if anything goes wrong, ISB even goes so far to help the parent as to give sample letters. All you have to do is download this letter and change the name. Dear Principal, Dear Superintendent, Dear Special Education Director. So that is incumbent upon a parent to make these changes. Look at ISB, anything that you think is not being done well. But I would say give your school a chance. If you have questions, call your local special ed director. I don't know any in any Will County school that would not be happy to work with you, truly.
Awesome.
Yeah, answer that question.
And then I guess we just have one more.
Yeah, we'll do one or two
Yeah.
more and we're good.
One of them. This was from Kasha. Explaining the safe precautions of apps and social media platforms. We kind of answered those questions, but I guess the one is not to utilize ChatGPT or AI for mental health purposes or advice. Do you want to provide any insight on that?
Yeah, I mean, the mental health issue with ChatGPT and the other AI platforms is just, I was talking to a friend whose wife, she's having a mental disability, and he saw her the other day rocking, looking at her phone, and she's talking her problems out with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And again, when it comes to children, that's where monitoring comes in. If my kid is talking about suicide and I have a monitoring platform, boom, it's going to tell me right away that my kid's having an issue. That's why the mental health is so important aspect when monitoring, because it's a proven medical fact. The frontal cortex of their decision-making brain is not developed enough to handle all
Well,
this
yeah,
stuff.
I mean, that's how you get kids who go kill themselves at 13 or 14
They get
years 'cause
affected
they
by
have no idea.
reels. They get affected. They get radicalized when the device is in their rooms at night. And parents need a net to save their child. I understand you want to be helicopter parents, but this is your child. 2 months ago, I was in Oregon talking to a parent presentation, and I met this aunt of this lady. Her nephew had just killed himself. And what happened was he met this girl who was 2 towns over, and they were talking on Snapchat. And she said she was 15 and she was really 12. And so he actually was going to see her volleyball game, her high school volleyball game. Well, I'm not really. And okay, well, we're just going to turn around. Well, she got so upset. She enlisted her cousin and 2 of her friends, and they hammered this. This kid was a cowboy. Parents owned a cattle ranch. He was a superb athlete. He held the state record for breaststroke. Kid was together. And they would call him 50 times a day, tell him what a terrible human being he was. So finally they got him on Snapchat video, and he shot himself in the head.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And the police department there didn't know anything about cyber. Didn't even talk to the girls. They just chalked it up as a suicide. You know, had there been monitoring on that kid's device and signals from Snapchat telling the parents that this would happen, they would have caught it before it even happened. But again, we need to be monitoring.
Yep.
Our kids are our precious commodity. It's not that
We
our
need
kids
a lot of them.
not that our kids are bad, but there's bad people out there to do bad things to your children, and it's not in violating their privacy. It's protecting them, and that's what your kids have to understand.
I agree with that statement.
Me too.
It's all about the kids. If realistic, at the end of the day, I mean, that's kind of what we parents live for, right?
Absolutely,
Take care of our kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if, at
Yeah.
that point, if we're parents, what else
Yeah.
besides our kids? What else do we really have to
Yeah.
like?
Nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing else that we can
Nothing.
replace them realistically,
Yeah.
right?
I just got an email today from a parent who heard my talk at Trinity Christian School in Shorewood. And this mom, her ex-husband was indicated by DCFS, and there's charges pending against him. But the police can't bring enough evidence. And it's just a whole thing. And now she wants to monitor her child's device, but because the dad is one who pays the money, doesn't want her to be monitored. Why? Because he's the predator, right? And you get situations with divorced parents that the parent is jockeying to be the most popular parent, right? So they're going to give that kid everything to make the other parent look like a jerk off.
Right.
I think
Right.
that has a big actual impact on kids.
Yeah,
Is
absolutely.
not having a
Yeah.
stable home with stable parents.
Yes. And-
Because, like you said, they're jockeying
Yeah.
for position, literally.
Yeah. And then when who's going to lose? The kid's going to lose.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? If you're not on the same, oh, your mom's a B word and you know, she just wants to see everything that you do. I'm not like that, so I'm the cool parent. The kid loses.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
Yeah. Every time.
Yeah, every time.
Yeah. This is an awesome podcast. Really was. I mean,
Good,
there was
I'm
so
glad.
much information. Information from you.
Yeah.
I hope that your reelection goes well and that you get
Thank
reelected
you.
to the position.
Thank
You
you.
deserve it. You know your information. You've done your due diligence. You've actually improved upon what you came to originally. So I personally hope that you do well and that you win the reelection and that you continue to run the Will County, continue to be the Will County Superintendent.
Regional
And
Thank you.
I forgot what word.
regional superintendent.
Yeah, and,
Get it right. Get it right.
that you continue your good work.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So as for you,
Truly.
Rich, same. I mean, hopefully you continue your good work as well. I mean, you obviously know what you're doing and have
Thank you.
a lot of experience. And then listen, get these people off the street.
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely. And
realistically,
thank
protect the
you.
kids.
He
Yeah.
is
Thank
keeping
you.
our kids safer.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
believe that,
And we
and I'll
appreciate that.
I'll keep bringing them back
Yeah.
to Will County as
Yeah.
long as I'm
With
there.
our partnership, we're a force that's been reckoned with. And
Yes.
and,
We
and
love
our
it.
mission is to make Will County kids safe for sure.
And I'm pretty sure all the parents here think the same way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you guys.
Thank
got
you
anything
guys
else
for
for the
having
opportunity?
us.
No, I just want to say
75 days.
75 days. I got you.
Go see your
I just say,
pediatrician.
once again, Rich, thank you for your service. Thank you for all that
Thank you.
do currently and have done in the past.
Thank
and
you.
thank you for making
Will County
schools
great again.
better. Yeah.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Paul.
Thank you.
Let's not go that far. But, and I do hope that you both continue to succeed.
Thank you.
Otherwise, make sure to like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, that's right.
Like and subscribe.
We keep forgetting that. Me and Marcel always forget that.
And if you thought this was informational, share it to somebody.
Yeah.
Especially if you live in one county, and you thought you have somebody, a friend that has an older kid or anything like that. Make sure to send it to them, or just so that they can watch, so that they can have that tech talk right with their kids. It's important, and even if they already had it, maybe adjust it a little.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
We'll leave some information on the podcast in the description. So if you guys want to check out Richard's website, or if you want to learn more about what Lisa does and all her information, it'll be on there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All
Have a
right.
good night.
Thanks
Thank you very
again,
much.
guys.
Thank you,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.